Last Drops Baseball is on the air, and tonight we are calling the Seibu Lions and the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters from the Belluna Dome in Saitama. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in a moment. Ohio gozaimasu, konnichiwa, konbanwa, wherever you're out in the world, welcome to Last Drops Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. Our views and opinions are not affiliated with the NPB, the Pacific League, Central League, or their sponsors. We're giving you live English reports on the game being played and hope that English-speaking fans around the globe can enjoy the games on YouTube and Twitch along with us. Tonight, we are bringing to you the Seibu Lions hosting the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters. First of all, we're going to give you the lineups for the visitors. Leading off and playing shortstop is number 4, Daigo Kawakabata. Batting second and doing the designated hitting is number 12, Go Matsumoto. Hitting third and left field is number 8, Kensuke Kondo. In the cleanup spot and playing second base is number 38, Kazunori Ishii. Batting fifth in center field is number 61, Yuma Imagawa. Batting sixth at first base is number 21, Kotaro Kiyomiya. Hitting seventh and doing the catching is number 30, Shingo Usami. Batting eighth at third base is number 49, Ryushi Sato. And batting ninth in right field is number 66, Chusei Manami. And they're going to be facing Wataru Matsumoto, who steps to the hill with a 6-5 record. He has worked 104 innings. He's allowed 90 hits, 44 runs, 41 have been earned. He's walked 35 and struck out 76, and he's got an earned run average of 3.55. Well, that's the lineup for the visitors from Hokkaido. And now the lineup for the Seibu Lions. Leading off and playing shortstop is number 6, Suzuki Genda. Batting second in center field is number 46, Shohei Suzuki. Hitting third and doing the catching is number 10, Tomoya Mori. In the cleanup spot and playing first base is number 3, Hataka Yamakawa. Batting fifth at second base is number 39, Ninting Wu. Hitting sixth and doing the designated hitting is number 60, Takiya Nakamura. Hitting seventh at third base is number 31, Shota Hiranuma. Batting eighth in left field is number 30, Brian O'Grady. And batting ninth in right field, wearing number 53, is Aido. And they are going to be facing Hiromi Oda, who takes to the hill. He's got a 10-9 record. He's worked 137 2/3 innings, 129 hits allowed, 56 runs, 48 have been earned. He's walked 47 and struck out 100, and he's got an ERA of 3.14. So the right-hander Matsumoto is ready to get to the mound to start his warm-up tosses, and we'll be back in 30 seconds with all the action. Look forward to having everybody here with us tonight. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this. We always have the ceremonial first toss before each game, and it's always a treat in the Japanese league. It is the person who comes out for the ceremonial first toss. The visiting team will send up their leadoff hitter to stand in the batter's box. The catcher, of course, catches it, and they have the mascot acting as the umpire. And now that is completed, it is Wataru Matsumoto who is taking to the hill to begin his warm-up tosses as we're about ready to get this one underway. The Lions tonight wearing their powder blue tops with their powder blue hat, their white pants with the blue piping down the side. So Matsumoto marks himself off of where he wants his landing spot to be. And it is going to be the right-hander who takes to the hill. He is 6-5 on the season, and his record was a little bit deceiving. He's got a 3.55 ERA. He is Worked 104 innings, as we said in the outset. He's only struck out 76 batters. Both of these pitchers tonight, we expect to pitch to contact. They are not strikeout artists, although Hiromi Oda, the starter for the Fighters, struck out more last year. Batters almost one per inning, where this year he is significantly down. Ito will be able to reach some career highs either tonight or in his next start, as he has worked 137 and 2/3 innings. He's almost at his peak from last year, as this is his second season in the NPB. So Matsumoto is getting ready to go. Both of these teams they're facing tonight, they're at opposite ends of the spectrum in the Pacific League. The Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters are 14.5 games adrift. They are not in playoff contention. They'd have to have a miracle of pretty much winning every game between now and the end of the year to do some damage. It is a 5-team race. The Chibalote Marines are still hanging in there, but only 2.5 games separate the leaders, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, who are in 4th place. Right now, the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks are percentage points ahead of the Seibu Seibu Lions, as well as the Oryx Buffaloes. Well, now Matsumoto has completed the warm-ups, and we're ready to get this one underway, as he is going to be facing Daigo Kamikawa Kabata, the shortstop, who will lead it off for the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters. And here comes the first pitch of the ball game. As he kicks and delivers, it's a fastball that misses upstairs for ball one, and the count is 1-0. For Kamikawa Kabata, he is hitting .282 on the year. He's got a couple of homers and 13 RBIs. He's in his rookie season with the Fighters at the NPB level. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses up and in. And the count is now 2-0. Defensively tonight for the Seibu Seibu Lions, on your YouTube screen from left to right, it's Brian O'Grady in left. The center fielder is Shohei Suzuki. The right fielder is Ito. As Matsumoto works into the windup and delivers, it's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 3-0 to the leadoff hitter. From first to third, around the horn, it is Hotaka Yamakawa at first. Second baseman is Ninting Wu tonight. Shortstop is Suzuki Genda, and at third base, it is Shota Hiranuma. And the battery is, of course, Matsunuma and Tomoya Mori. And there's a fastball that misses upstairs, and that's going to be ball 4, as Kamikawa Kabata is aboard with a leadoff walk, and that's going to bring up the Pacific League's leading hitter in Go Matsumoto. Our friend Zero Fox Sports is checking in. We appreciate you for being here. He says he's been working 6 days a week for the last month. It's all right, Dave. We took some time off and headed back east. We weren't around for a little bit, as we had only did about, I think we did 3 or 4 games on the 10 days that I was gone, but we're going to be back in the saddle, and we're going to be giving her some late night Japanese stuff pretty much now till the end. Well, Matsumoto steps to the plate, and he's already squaring the bunt here, which is a little bit odd. Going to take the bat out of the leading hitter's hands, and the other Matsumoto, who he is facing, throws over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner Kamikawa Kabata. So Matsumoto batting for the right side, as we said. He squares in the box. He's not right up on the plate, and he's not up in the box. So I wonder if he's going to pull back here. No, he does get it. He bunts the ball, but he pops it up, and it's going to be an easy catch in foul territory up the first baseline by Tomoya Mori. So Matsumoto unable to get the job done as he pops out to the catcher for the first out of the inning. And that is going to bring up the left fielder, Kensuke Kondo. Well, for Kondo on the season, he's batting .290. He's got 6 homers and 35 runs batted in. He gets the nod in left field tonight for the Fighters. It is a full slate of games tonight around the NPB, as we are going to be seeing everything going off tonight. It is the only game in the Pacific League that will be played at this time. The games in the Central League will be the Chinichi Dragons and Yamuri Giants. They're going on right now, and the Hanshin Tigers and the Yokohama Dina Bay Stars are also underway. And there they throw over to first base as Matsumoto, and diving back is Kamikawa Kabata. Kabata has a healthy lead, but it's not where he is on the dirt per se. Sometimes the players will have a 1 foot on the turf and 1 on the dirt. He has both of his feet on the dirt at this time. And so now here we go, as they're going to be establishing their lead again. And I hope we haven't lost our connection, because would appear that we are fighting it a little bit here, and hopefully we haven't done that. We haven't been in the home spot for a bit, and we were interested to see how our connection is going to be. But right now we are at a loss, and we're going to have to hang tight here with you because we have lost our connection. Living Room says, check out his latest video on his channel. I'll be interested to see what that looks like, that's for sure. So not just our A feed, but our B feed is also down. So maybe we're going to have to try and go to a C feed at some point here. So hang tight, everybody, as we are trying to work our magic here and see if we can pick up yet another feed. But the game at the Balluna Dome right now is on a little bit of a pause as Matsumoto is awaiting here. So we'll try to get ourselves back on track in just a moment as soon as we possibly can. But everything is just a spinning right now. As we talked about at the outset, it is a bit of a situation where in the NPB, you've got 4 teams within 2.5 games of one another for that top spot. And unfortunately, as we are trying to see if we can end up getting another type of feed up here, but it is right now a bit of a challenge as we're waiting on that game. We're going to try it again to see if we can do it, but both of our feeds are in a bit of what I would call disarray, as neither one is giving it at that point right now. So we'll give another one an opportunity, and we'll see if we can get the C feed going. I don't know if we're going to be able to pull it up here, but yeah, it looks like we're going to be able to get feed number 3 on the way here. And that is going to be able to put it up. So it looks like that they've just had a base hit single, have the fighters, as Kondo is aboard with a base hit. It's going to advance Kamikawa Kabata all the way over to third. And that is going to put runners at the corners. And it looks like it is going to be the 1,000th hit of Kensuke Kondo's career. So they've stopped the game to give him the billboard to lift that up. But it looks like we're going to be back to the live action as it's going to be Kazunori Ishii coming to the plate. So runners on the corners for the fighters after that little glitch. So hopefully that'll be the last glitch of the night for us here, as we haven't had too many of those this season. So the C feed, yeah, that's the one that has actually worked. So here we go, back to the live action as the left-handed hitting Ishii steps to the plate. He is batting .241 on the year. He's got 5 homers and 30 RBIs. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is now no balls and 1 strike to Ishii. He had a good chunk of about that. It was stalled on so many different fronts. So I'm not sure. Sometimes that has been the case. It's not been the case as bad this year as we've had in other years past. But we will be able to at least peek in and be able to see what else is going on from around the other action in the NPB. So here comes the offering now from the right-hander Matsumoto. The 0-1 pitch on its way to Ishii. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. It is a very healthy crowd at the Balluna Dome tonight. And we have seen a number of games there. A lot of the crowd is wearing their powder blue shirts. It looks very impressive, as the home team is also in their powders. So here comes the 1-1 offering. As Matsumoto holds set, he fires over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner Kondo. So runners are on the corners. There is 1 gone here, as Ishii gets his sign from his catcher Tomoya Mori. I would say that Matsumoto can weather the storm here in the first inning, he should be able to give the Lions a good start here. Here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 1-2. Our friend, the Living Room, has posted up a video on his site. And I haven't been over to take a look at it. I haven't looked at anything today outside of Steve Rademacher and looking at his Wager Wednesdays. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. Our friend Living Room says, thanks for the sub. He's closing the gap on Freddie. Well, we'll have to get back in the saddle here and be able to pick up the pace a little bit. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ishii. As the right-hander Matsumoto works here with one out and runners on the corners. He checks the runner at first, and now he works to the set position. And now he kicks and he fires. It's a fastball that misses way up high. And the count is now 2-2 to Ishii. Ishii will be followed by the center fielder Yuma Imagawa. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As the right-hander gets his side again. He's not the quickest worker when there's runners on base. He takes his sweet time. If this was Major League Baseball circa 2023, we might be facing that pitch clock. And there he throws over to first base. And again, diving back is the base runner Kondo. One of the topics, or one of the things that they were talking about, was the number of times that you could throw over to first base as a rule change in Major League Baseball. I thought that would have been absolutely erroneous. They would have given you 3 times to throw over. The problem is if you've thrown twice or thrown 3 times, then the runner has pretty much a full jump to be able to get to the next base. There's a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count is now 3-2 to Ishii. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. As we mentioned at the top of the stream, it is only percentage points that separate the 3 teams in the standings. Right now, it is the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks have a record of 64, 57, and 2. They've got a winning percentage of .529. They're tied with the Lions, who are 66, 59, and 3. They have a .528 winning percentage. And the Oryx Buffaloes are 67, 60, and 1. They've got a .528 winning percentage as well. So 3 teams that are technically all even, but only percentage points because the number of games played are different. There's a split finger pitch. It misses down. The batter, Kishi, checks his swing. They appeal down to the third base umpire, but they say he didn't go. And that is going to load the bases full of fighters. And that is going to bring a conference out to the mound as the defense has come in to chat with their starting pitcher, and they're going to figure out what they're going to do defensively here. I would assume that they're going to be in at the corners, but they're going to be up the middle, where they're going to be in double play depth. So Yuma Imagawa steps to the plate. He's batting .242. He's got 9 homers and 37 RBIs. Bases are full of fighters with Kamikawa Kabata at third. The runner at second is Kondo, and the runner at first is Ishii. So the bases are now loaded. As the right-handed hitting, Kamikawa Kabata waits on the first offering from the right-hander here. And the first pitch is a breaking ball swung on. His tap slowly over to third. They come home for the force for 1, and that is going to be it. So that's going to be a fielder's choice. It's going to erase Kamikawa Kabata at the plate. 5-2 for the second out of the inning. Kondo advances to third. Ishii advances to second, and safe at first is Imagawa. And that is all. I'll leave it up to the first baseman, Katara Kiyomiya. It was a tough play for the third baseman, Hiranuma, who had to charge the ball. His only play was to the plate. Well, he could have went over to one of the other bases, but they weren't going to get the double play as he had to come far too far to get it. It allowed the runner to be able to reach first base safely on the back end. Our friend Zero Fox says, I just gave a sports talk to Steve Rademacher. And here comes the first pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses upstairs. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Our friend in the living room said it was fun to have out for Blitzball. That was fun. It was good times, that's for sure. I'll have to do that again when I get back into town. I've got some projects that I'm working on here. It looks like the Japan project is out for now. There's the fastball that misses outside. The count is now 2-0, but we're going to kick the can and maybe spend Christmas in New Zealand if we can get it done. So we'll see what's going to happen there. And we'll go play some ball in New Zealand. It'll be their summertime over the Christmas break. It looks like we may have some people that would be interested in being able to do it. And that's what we're going to look at and try to make happen. So here comes the pitch. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is now 2-1 to Kiyomiya. So we'll have to be able to get our work together there and see if we get it on track. We'll know in the next week to 10 days if we can make something happen. So 2-1 it is. As the right-hander Matsumoto comes set. And the 2-1 offering is ready to get on the way. And now he steps off the backside, and we're going to reset and do this all over again. Baseball in the Southern Hemisphere in December would be a lot of fun. It'd be their summer, and it'd be pretty hot. So 2-1 it is to Kiyomiya. As the right-hander works in the set position, bases are still loaded, full of fighters. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2-2. 19 pitches so far for the right-hander. Surprisingly, for all the traffic that is on the base paths, he really hasn't thrown as many pitches as one would think. So if he can survive the first inning, look out, he might get himself into a groove. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. As Matsumoto holds set. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to first. It is fielded by the first baseman, Yamakawa. He steps on the bag as he takes it himself. And that is going to do it here as Kiyomiya grounds out the first to end the inning. Well, there were no runs in the inning. There was only one hit. There were no errors and 3 runners left aboard. We are through a half inning. It is the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham fighters. No score. The Seibu Seibu Lions coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the first inning in just a couple moments. Appreciate you guys for checking in tonight. Hang tight. Welcome back, everybody, and we are going to be going to the bottom of the first inning. Here to be Oda. Our friend Demon Slayer says under 5 in the first 5. Yeah, well, the way it's looking here, that was a dicey bit there in the first inning for those who had it. We had one of our fellas who jumped into the stream, Cesar Pena. He said under 4 for the first 5. Well, that was interesting. And I think they actually said it there. Our friend the living room says he heard New Zealand has rather tepid temps. Not at that time of the year. It is going to be hot in Auckland, I would think. So we have our work cut out for us as we're going to try to make that happen. I don't know if it's going to work, but you should know in the next week to 10 days if we get a taker for us. There's a first pitch fastball delivered to Suzuki Genda that misses down for a ball, and it is 1-0 to Genda. Genda batting .273 on the year with a couple of homers and 16 runs batted in. Batting from the left side against the right-handed throwing Ito, who kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Demon Slayer says he paid extra for one more run. Insurance. Yeah, possibly. Living Room is only one syllable away from talking about the Carp. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-1. Although those letters, when talking about the Carp, are probably interchangeable the way they played the back half of the season. Whether it be the AR or the RA, depending upon how you spell it out. Here's the 2-1 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This ball's line down the left field line, and it's just going to slice foul into the corner as Genda just missed getting himself an extra base hit. That's going to run the count now to 2-2. Genda has quietly been picking up his average, hitting .273 now on the season. He started off the year rather soft, and he has steadily just been crawling up the pace. When I look at the Lions, they have quite a bit of depth in their batting order, but nobody that's particularly lights out with the batting average. Everybody's just all kind of there. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It's grounded over to second. Fielded neatly by the second baseman, Ishii, who throws to first. And Genda is going to be retired on a ground out 4-3 for the first out of the inning. So one away here, and that is going to bring up the center fielder, Shohei Suzuki. Going to try to do our picks tomorrow, as we were doing them pretty much every day when I was back east. That was the one thing I was able to do, is to be able to put the pen to the paper and get them done. Although after that last round of picks, I don't know if I want to be making them too often anymore. I went 5-0 and then followed it up with a 1-5. So here's the first offering to Suzuki. It's a breaking ball that misses down for ball one. Shohei Suzuki hitting .261 on the year with a homer and 12 RBIs. He gets the nod in center field tonight. Always a concern when you have a center fielder who has 0 stolen bases. One would think that your center fielder is going to have some wheels, can run a little bit. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count's 1-1. For the Fighters defensively tonight, on your YouTube screen from left to right, it is Kensuke Kondo in left. The center fielder is Yuma Imagawa. The right fielder is Chusei Manami. There's a fastball swung on. This ball sliced down the left field line. It is bobbled in the corner by the left fielder, who fires into second base, but the throw is not going to be in time. And that is going to be a base hit. I think they're going to rule it as a double for Suzuki. I don't think the bobble necessarily would have covered that. As Suzuki is got himself the double there. We'll get an update on that to see if that is the case. I'm just going to look at it. He didn't field it cleanly. It was a tough enough play as it was. I don't think it would have made the difference even if he would have fielded it cleanly. Our friend the living room says Steve's going 17 for 17 this week. Yeah, probably in the wrong direction. He's off to a very difficult spot, not getting the Bills correct that night. So here comes the first offering from the righty. It's a fastball that misses upstairs to Mori, and the count is 1-0. Mori on the season batting .250 with 8 homers and 36 runs batted in. Mori also playing a lot better after coming back from that broken bone in his hand. He had some frustration early in the year, and there was word that he punched the helmet or punched the wall. That ended up putting him out for quite some time. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-1. And really, it hurt the team for the Saitama Seibu Lions, as he had taken himself out. One of the things that we saw in our calling of the Lions games is it really changed defensively how the Lions operated. Mori does a great job controlling the running game. He is able to make good throws down to second base. He's able to do a lot of things, but unfortunately for Tomoya Mori, not having him in the lineup really hurt the Lions, because other teams could take liberties and run on the Saitama Ball Club. So here comes the 1-1 pitch as Ito kicks and delivers. It's a split finger pitch swung on. It is popped up into shallow left center field. Moving over underneath it is the left fielder Kondo. He makes the catch. And Mori is retired for out number 2, and that's going to bring up the first baseman, Hotaka Yamakawa. Well, Yamakawa on this season is leading the Pacific League in home runs. He's got 38 on the year. He's batting .268 with those 38 homers and 82 runs batted in. I doubt he's going to hit the 50 mark. I would be shocked. He'd have to go absolutely crazy here over the last 3.5 weeks of the season. I don't think that is in the books for him, but I do think 100 RBIs is not out of the question. But of course, that is always hinging upon what gets on in front of you. And there is Suzuki in scoring position right now, but they do have first base open. So one would anticipate that Ito will be a little bit more delicate with the right-handed hitting Yamakawa. The first pitch is a fastball that was taken right down the middle for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Yamakawa getting the nod tonight at first base. He is a little bit of a defensive sideshow for the Lions, as he is ready to get the offering here from Ito, who checks his sign from his catcher Usami, and now he works set. He checks Suzuki at second base. And here's the 0-1. It is a breaking ball swung on at his top, hit softly over to second. Fielded neatly by the second baseman Ishii. Throws to first, and Yamakawa is retired for the third out of the inning. Well, they got a hit in the inning, did the Lions. There was no runs, one hit, no errors, and one runner stranded aboard. We're now through one complete. It's the Lions no score and the Fighters no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments after this with all of our music. No more down home stuff. We'll give you just the regular stuff here.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shoot tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna...
Nothing, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment with the call at the top of the second inning. It is the Fighters and the Lions. We'll be right back with you. Welcome back, everybody. It is one of those nights. It looks like we're going back to our C feed again because our A and our B feed went down. But it looks like our A feed is back up and running. So it's going to be Murphy's Law. Whatever can go wrong will go wrong, or seems to go wrong. But we are back in action here as we are ready for the top of the second inning. And here comes the first pitch from Matsumoto. It's a breaking ball that misses upstairs for ball one. Shingo Isami, and then it's Ryushi Sato and Chusei Manami to face the right-hander here. He rocks into the windup and delivers. It is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count goes even to 1-1. Usami on the season batting .257 with 4 homers and 22 runs batted in, as the right-hander delivers a fastball that swung on and fouled away. And the count now is 1-2 strikes. Our friend Scott stops in. He says, you're probably exhausted of this question. How are you watching the stream? Are you commentating upon? And so our friend, the living room, will give you some information. There's a fastball that misses it, and the count is now 2-2. So one of the things that you can do, Scott, is once we give you the information, is the game is going to be broadcasted in Japanese. As it is in Japanese, a lot of people will sync the English commentary to it. There's a fastball swung on, is grounded up the middle. It is fielded by the second baseman, Wu, who throws to first, and they are going to get Isami on a ground out 4-3. Nice play by Ning-Ting Wu, but certainly is not his spot. Usually we see him play at first and third. With Shuta Tonosaki not in the lineup tonight, he gets the nod at second base. So our friend Scott asked the question, so that's your best bet. You want to Google the information that they've provided to you in the chat. You're going to have to use some Google Translate. You're going to have to cycle around a little bit and be able to hunt for that stream over there. And here comes the first pitch to Sato. It's a fastball that catches the inside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. That pitch looked like it was a little bit up and in, but the umpire with a late right hand called the strike on Sato. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. There's a fastball swung on it, has popped up. It's on the left side of the infield. It's playable by the third baseman, Hiranuma. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to retire Sato for the second out of the inning. So 2 quick outs here. That's going to bring up the right fielder, Chusei Manami. Well, for Manami on the season, he's hitting .209. He's got 14 homers and 40 runs batted in. Our friend the living room, it gives you some information there as you can hang tight and ask the question. If you have any problems, come on back and we'll be able to help you out. There's a breaking ball that misses down to Manami, and the count is 1-0. Manami, in some ways, is having a breakout season for the youngster here with the 14 homers and 40 RBIs. He's only hitting .210. When I was thinking about some of the import players that come into Japan that aren't hitting a whole lot better, he's certainly been showing that he can generate some power as he takes a breaking ball over for a strike, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As the right-hander rocks into the motion, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a split-finger pitch that misses down, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Chusei Manami. I remember watching last year, I saw the Fighters. I watched some of their farm games of all things last year, and saw him play with the farm team, and he definitely was able to abuse the farm pitching at times. There was a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now is 2-2 on Manami. But batting in the 9 hole is probably realistic. He's not as consistent as some of the other hitters that are in the lineup. Manami, this is his 3rd year that he's had an opportunity to play with the big club. He's 22 years old. As the right-hander delivers, it's a fastball swung on and it's pop foul behind home plate. The count remains at 2-2. Last year, he had 133 plate appearances for the Fighters. And in that time period, he hit $198. But keep it in mind, that was as a 21-year-old. He did have 5 homers and 13 RBIs. This year, he's had 277 at-bats. So he's got a chance to play a little bit more regularly under the big boss, Shinjo. There's a breaking ball that is waved at and missed. Mori's going to throw down to first base, and that is going to retire Manami on a strikeout, 2-3 for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, the Fighters go quietly in their half of the 2nd. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now moving to the bottom of the 2nd inning. It is the Fighters no score, the Lions no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for being here. Here is some more tunes. Nothing, everybody. We're going to be going to the bottom of the 2nd inning when we return. Hang tight. It is Lions and Fighters on your YouTube airwaves. Welcome back, everybody. It is the Bottom of the second coming up here, and it is going to be Ning-Ting Wu, Takeya Nakamura, and Shota Hiranuma to come to bat. We lost our B feed. We have our A feed and we have our C feed going. So what do you know? It is definitely an interesting night for us over here. So hopefully we don't have any more glitches along the way. And so it is Ning-Ting Wu here to lead it off in the bottom of the second inning. And the first pitch from Ito is a breaking ball that drops over for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Ning-Ting Wu. Wu on the year is batting .250, .234. He's got 5 homers and 25 runs batted in. And there is a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Wu. Other scores from around the NPB as we take a look at this evening. It is no score in Yomiuri with the Giants and the Dragons. The bottom of the third inning is there is a fastball that is swung on and fouled away by Wu, and the count now goes to 1-2. The Yokohama Dana Bay Stars opened up the scoring against the Hanshin Tigers in the bottom of the first inning. They have a 1-0 lead over Hanshin. And that is your out-of-town scoreboard right now. All the other games are 5 a.m. Eastern or 2 a.m. Pacific starts. I was contemplating sticking around and maybe doing another late-night game, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that tonight. It might have to be tomorrow. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted foul into the seats. It keeps the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes to Wu. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. As the right-hander gets himself a new ball, and he's ready to go again. Our friend in the living room says, let us know if you found it. And there's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. The count is now 2-2. Our friend Demon Slayer says, I find it odd that I'm more internet savvy than most young people as a 45-year-old. Yeah, there you go. Well, wait a few more years and you'll join the club here, Demon Slayer. It was some of our younger audiences maybe not as savvy as we think. There's a fastball swung on and his line foul down the right field line. The count remains at 2-2. Of course, the crowd that we get is the ones that like to listen to the NPB game, although I have to say probably the fighters being called here tonight is probably not the normal that we get. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. The fighters are definitely a club that obviously struggling this year. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded over to second. Fielded easily by the second baseman Ishii. He throws to first, and Wu is retired by his opposite number on a ground out 4-3 for the first down of the inning. And that is going to bring up the designated hitter, Takeya Nakamura. As we said at the outset of the stream, it is a very healthy crowd in Seibu for this one. I would be surprised if it was not going to be a sellout here tonight. A Saturday afternoon ball game in Seibu. Our friend Demon Slayer says, I grew up without the internet, cell phones. I'm the last generation that spent their childhood outside. It would be very true to that. There's a fastball swung on and missed by Nakamura, and the count is 0-1. It is something that you see when the kids are outside. It is usually generally organized. It's not something that you see all the time. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. And there is a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count is now 0-2. I can remember vividly when we got the internet for the first time at home. It was in 1998. And it would have been in about September of 98 because I bought the first home computer that our family had. We had a word processor. We never had a computer, and I bought a Dell computer. At the time, it was one of the ones, and I remember it was originally AOL was the dial-up, and you were using your phone. We had to get another phone line. There was a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 0-2 to Nakamura. All good stuff. And then that just seemed to go from there, 1998. And then Lots of fun with all kinds of other things, such as eBay opened up all kinds of doors for a lot of people out there. Here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that just misses outside. The count is now 1-2 to Nakamura. Nakamura on the year batting at 195, 10 homers and 29 RBIs. Nakamura is in the twilight of his career, the 39-year-old. The one-time slugger had pounded out a lot of home runs over the course of his career. And here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a fastball that just misses inside. The count is now 2-2. He's kind of passed the torch over to Yamakawa. Nakamura, at one time, he hit 48 homers twice in his career, back in the 2009 season and again in 2011. He's also driven in 100 runs 5 times over the course of his career. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball that just misses outside. And the count now goes to 3-2 to Nakamura. But since the 2019 season, he has hit 9 homers, 18 homers, and this year he's got 10. So the power just isn't there anymore for the 39-year-old. Occasional home run here and there, but not like he was before. Almost like what Miguel Cabrera is in the big leagues today for the Detroit Tigers. There's a fastball swung on. It's popped up on the infield. Camping out underneath it is the shortstop, Kamikawa Kabata, and he makes the catch. And Nakamura is retired for the second out of the innings, so 2 up and 2 away. That's going to bring up tonight's starting third baseman, Shota Hiranuma. Well, for Hiranuma, he's batting .250. He's got no homers and a 1 RBI. He got the start in the ball game here tonight. As we said, we've been seeing Wu playing third base, and Tonosaki is the day off at second base. This is the 18th game of the year for the handed hitting third baseman. He was a former Hokkaido Nippon-Ham fighter, spent the first 5 years of his career in a fighter's jersey. As he takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike. The count is 0-1. He was acquired midstream last year by the Lions. He has never had more than 184 plate appearances in a season. That came back in 2019. He's a career .223 hitter. So there's a split finger pitch that misses down in the dirt, and the count is now 1-1. Originally the 4th overall pick in the 2015 draft is Hiranuma. He is just turned 25 years old back in the middle of August as the right-hander Ito holds set. Now he kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball that catches the inside corner, and the count's now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Our friend Demon Slayer said his family had a fax machine before a computer for his dad's home office. Very true. We did, as well, as the B feed now goes down. So we're going to have to wait. Now we're back to the C feed, so we'll see what happens here. This looks like it's just going to be one of those nights tonight. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to say, but hopefully it'll sort itself out. We've got 1 ball and 2 strikes to Hiranuma as the right-hander Ito works set. And now he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's nothing more frustrating than that. I don't know what Ito's doing as he's checking the back of the mound. So 2-2 here. Yes, here comes the offering now to the left-handed hitting Hiranuma, and he swings and fouls that pitch off. The count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So the left-handed hitter digs himself back in, waiting here on the offering from the righty Ito. He gets his side from his catcher Usami. And now he works set. And now he kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball taken for a called third strike. Hiranuma stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched that go by for out number 3. And that is going to do it here for the Lions in their half of the second inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We're now through 2 complete. It is the Lions no score, the Fighters no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the top of the third inning when we return. Appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you guys for listening in tonight. Welcome back, everybody. Here we go. It is the top of the third inning, and that means the top of the order coming up for the fighters. That's Kamikawa Kabata, Matsumoto, and Kondo. And the first pitch is a split finger pitch that misses down to Kamikawa Kabata for a ball. The count is 1-0. As the right-hander goes back to work, and there's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count now goes even to 1-1. Kamikawa Kabata got things going in the first inning with a leadoff walk, but he was thrown out at the plate on a fielder's choice as the third baseman for the Alliance, Hiranuma, had gunned him down for the second out of the inning. There was a fastball that just misses inside, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. So here comes the 2-1 pitch. There is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. The count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Surprised we have a quiet night in here tonight. I would have expected we may have had on, usually Friday nights are a little bit busier, but it sometimes can be a late arriving crowd. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. As it is a breaking ball that catches the inside corner. And Kamikawa Kabata watched that one go by for the first out of the inning, as he is retired on strikes looking for out number 1, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter, Go Matsumoto. That's another thing that bothered me in the first inning when they had Matsumoto bunt. He's the league's leading hitter. You've taken the bat out of his hand, and on top of it, not only did you have him bunt, he popped it up for the out. I don't understand that when you do things like that. It would be interesting to interview that manager. And there's a fastball swung on it. It is lined through the 4-hole into right field, and Matsumoto's got himself a single. And that is what he's being paid to do this year. He's getting on base with base hits. So he is a threat to run. So Matsumoto with a 1-out single. That's going to bring up the left fielder, Kensuke Kondo. Really good piece of hitting there by the right-handed hitting designated hitter, as Matsumoto was able to punch it through the 4-hole. The pitch was away. He went with the pitch, and now that's going to bring Kondo to the plate. He's got the only hit tonight for the fighters, who had a single back in the first inning. Kondo has raised his average to 293. He's got 6 homers and 35 runs batted in. As Matsumoto kicks and delivers, it's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Kondo digs in. A friend in the living room says maybe when it gets busier once the Dodgers game ends. I think it was Dodgers and Padres tonight. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is now 2-0. Yeah, possibly so, depending upon if people have an interest in either of those two teams. I didn't check in a whole lot on some of the action. I saw that the Blue Jays and the Rangers were playing. I think it was a 4-3 game there. Saw the Tigers laid a beat down on the Royals. There's the 2-0 pitch. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 2-1. Eric Haas of the Tigers has had himself a good last 10 days. He hit 2 home runs again tonight. He hit 2 homers last week in a ball game, and looks like he wants to be back with the big club again next year in Detroit. The Dearborn, Michigan native is having himself a good second half of the year. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. As the right-hander Ito delivers, it's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 3-1. We got Quaffs in the house tonight. We welcome him, and we appreciate you for being here. 3 balls and 1 strike it is to the left-handed hitting Kensuke Kondo. It has been a good night tonight for baseball, not just in Japan, but also around Major League Baseball. We were peeking in, as I said, and looking at some stuff. Didn't see everything. I saw the Brewers took one on the chin as a fastball misses up and away. It's going to be ball 4 to Kondo. That's going to put Kondo at first and Matsumoto to second. It's going to bring up the cleanup hitter in Kazunori Ishii. Milwaukee Brewers took one on the chin to I believe it was the Pittsburgh Pirates tonight. Laid them out 8-2. Or maybe it was the Cincinnati Reds. I think it was the Cincinnati Reds who took it to them. I ought to tell you that the Cincinnati Reds are not going to be around for the Milwaukee Brewers are not going to be around for the playoffs. As they were probably still in a wild card type hunt, but I think those now are going to be stretched out. Quaff said the Cardinals lost to the Pirates today. That's correct. I saw an interesting piece earlier that the Cardinals, as there was a breaking ball delivered to the left-handed hitting Ishii, and he golfs that one well into the seats down the right field line, and the count is quickly 0-1 to him. Ishii tonight walked his first time up. He was stranded at second as the finders left the bases loaded in the first. The runner at second is Matsumoto. The runner at first is Kondo. There's 1 gone here in the top of the 3rd inning. As here comes the 0-1 offering. As the right-hander Matsumoto kicks and delivers, it's a fastball taken on the inside corner for a called strike. The count's 0-2. I'm starting to say that the Cardinals, they showed a graphic today, and I almost fell out of my chair. I knew they were doing well. I didn't know they were this well. The Jordan Montgomery, since being acquired from the Yankees at the trade deadline, is 6-0. And Jose Quintana, after being acquired from the Pirates, is 6-1. So the Cardinals' 2 starting pitchers they acquired at the deadline are a combined 12-1. Here's the 0-2 pitch. There's a fastball taken for a called 3rd strike. And Ishii stood there like the house by the side of the road. That's the 2nd called strike looking here in the inning, as he is retired on strikes for out number 2. That's the 3rd strikeout of the ball game for Matsumoto. And that is going to leave it all up to the center fielder, Yuma Imagawa. Our friend Quaff says he also had the under in the Boise State game, 10-0 at the half, and the game ended 31-14, so he lost by half a point. I hate to laugh at you. I don't mean it out of disrespect. When that happens, you just have to walk away and shake your head. There's a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Imagawa. Imagawa bounced into that fielder's choice in the first inning. Got Kamikawa Kamada thrown out at the plate. So no balls and 1 strike. Yeah, sometimes you just have to have a sense of humor on some of this stuff. If you got it all lined up in your favor, and the next thing you know, it's a half point that takes you, it sets you adrift. There's a fastball that misses up, and the count's 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is to Imagawa. The right-hander Matsumoto gets his sign from his catcher Mori, who now is going to set himself up outside here to the right-handed hitting Imagawa. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. That is the 50th pitch of the ball game for the right-hander. He is not making things easy on himself. One thing I was thinking about, and I don't know about you guys, so I was talking about this the other day. I went to the Tigers-Mariners game last week in Detroit, and I was talking about how only credit cards can be used at the big league games. I see it in Seattle as well. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 3-1. And I was talking to, I was sitting next to a lady on the plane on the flight back, and she was commenting the same thing. She went to the Mariners game, and you wanted to order a beer when the vendors were walking around, or a hot dog, and they were trying to hail down the vendors so they could get something to eat. But the vendors were only taking the credit cards. And she says, I'm sitting in the middle of the row. I don't really feel so good about passing my credit card down through 6 people to get myself a hot dog, as there's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is 3-2 to Imagawa. And it kind of makes sense if they're not taking cash at the ball games and they're only taking the credit cards, and I'm sitting in the middle row. I don't really want to pass my credit card down 7 or 8 people down to the other end. A problem with that. So I'll just keep my credit card in my pocket. You can keep your hot dog. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. As the right-hander again works himself set. Now Matsumoto ready to deliver again. As he kicks and fires, it's a fastball that misses outside. The appeal down to the first base umpire, and they say that Imagawa went. And the right-hander Matsumoto has struck out the side. It wasn't pretty, but he got the job done. There was no runs. There was a hit, no errors, and 2 runners left the board here in the top of the 3rd inning. We're moving to the bottom of the 3rd. It is the Lions no score and the Fighters no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the 3rd inning when we return after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat for the Lions here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. That means Brian O'Grady, Ito, and Suzuki Genda to face the right-hander Hiromi Ito, who is on for his 3rd inning of work. So hang tight, everybody. We will be ready to bring you this action here in just a moment as the left-handed hitting O'Grady digs in. The pitcher Ito had come down to mound to remove some clump of dirt. And now he is ready to go here. O'Grady batting at .222 on the year with 15 homers and 46 RBIs. Takes a breaking ball upstairs for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. Curious to see, I'm interested in some ways of how the Japanese teams decide on which players to go out and to get. And there's the breaking ball that misses up and away, and the count is now 2-0. Obviously, when you bring an import player in, he has to be better than what you have. And when you look at the Lions, of course, they have some quality players in certain positions. Genda is a keeper at shortstop, and Yamakawa is not going anywhere at first base. There's a breaking ball that misses down. They appeal to the 3rd base umpire, but he says that O'Grady didn't go, and the count's now 3-0. He had brought Corey Spangenberg in, the former first round pick of the San Diego Padres. They had him in their lineup the last couple of seasons. And he certainly did not produce well enough to be issued another year. He's in the Cardinals organization, I believe, right now, as a fastball is taken for a called strike and counts 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Brian O'Grady. As a reminder, we will be back on the airwaves again tomorrow night, as it will be the Oryx Buffaloes and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. We'll be making the call on that one. There's a fastball that misses inside. That's going to be ball 4. So Grady is aboard with a leadoff walk, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Ito. Well, Ito is hitting .248. He's got 7 homers and 22 runs batted in. Friend Demon Slayer says Freddie Galvis isn't hitting very well. I wonder why he's still in the NPB. Well, the first thing is they inked him to a 2-year, $8 million deal. So they invested 2 years in Galvis. The other issue there is that Galvis was actually sent down for quite a while. He was down on the farm. And he wasn't getting the opportunity, of course, as Ito steps to the plate. He's already squaring to bunt, as he's waiting on the offering here from the righty Ito. And Ito steps off and fakes the throw over to first base. So Ito is obviously checking here. It's usually when hitters step up to the plate, they may throw over to first to see if there is going to be the break of the hands. But Ito has stepped in the batter's box, and there's no doubt about it here. He is ready to lay one down. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and that's going to be ball 1 to Ito. But as I talk back about Freddie Galvis, as Demon Slayer was talking about it, they've invested the money into him. And obviously this year they're going to have to ride it out. He will come back next year, I would think. But I think if he was playing very similar in the halfway through the season, he won't make it through the whole year next year. But $8 million for 2 years they've got invested in him. They're going to have to ride him out a little bit. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-0. Obviously, they've got Colin Ray on the mound, but I believe the other player that the Hawks had signed in the offseason was Tyler Chatwood. And Chatwood's not just his season's over, but I think his career's probably done. I believe it was a shoulder issue that he had, and I don't even think he pitched an inning for the Hawks this year. But I think about like the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. They've had no luck in the last couple of years with their free agent or international signings. Last year they had Rusney Castillo and Brandon Dixon. Both of them did not produce as expected, as there's a bunt that goes foul down the first base line, and the count is 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Ito. Not a very good bunt. We saw the pop-up earlier by Go Matsumoto by the Fighters. And that one by Ito had a lot of air underneath it. You want to be able to see the ball down, but he bunted that one, and it went foul on the first base side, and it was bunted hard. And now they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner O'Grady. So 2 balls and 1 strike. As the pitcher holds a set at the belt, and now he kicks and delivers, does Ito. It's bunted, it's down, it's a good one. Ito fields it, he throws to first base. His only option was to get Ito. That's going to go down as a sacrifice, 1-4 for the first out of the inning. Advancing over to second is O'Grady. He's now in scoring position. That's going to bring up the top of the order in Suzuki Genda. So just to finish my thought a little bit there on free agent acquisitions, as far as I'm concerned, certainly being able to ink and sign a deal of Freddie Galvis. I look at Jose Marmoleos, who also was sent down by the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. He was the AAA MVP last year, played in the Seattle Mariners organization, but he certainly wasn't putting up numbers. And then now they've got Chris Gittens, who's with the ball club. Hopefully Gittens can get things going. He missed quite a bit of time with a dislocated shoulder that he suffered early in the season. There's a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Genda. Genda tonight 0 for 1. He grounded to the second baseman his first time up. So Shohei Suzuki is waiting his turn on deck as it's a no ball and 1 strike count to Genda. And here's the pitch from Ito. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Still not much action on the out-of-town scoreboard. If you guys were looking at unders around the league, it is in the bottom of the 4th inning, and the Chinichi Dragons are locked up at zeros with the Yomiuri Giants. The bottom of the 3rd inning, it is a 1-0 lead for the Yokohama Dana Bay Stars over the Hanshin Tigers. And here's the pitch. It is a split finger pitch. It misses down, and the count is now 2 balls and 1 strike to Genda. So 2-1 as the left-handed hitting Genda waiting on the offering here from Ito. This game here is right now the slowest of all the games around the NPB, although they are catching up to the Bay Stars Hanshin game. They are a little bit tardy as well. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to first. It is fielded easily by the first baseman, Kiyomiya, who just steps on the bag. We're going to take a look at this. I don't know if Genda had fouled it off himself, though. I don't know if they're going to have another look at this, but that ball had some serious English on it. We're going to look at it again on the replay. We can't quite see if that actually hit Genda or not. No, you know what? He hit that ball foul. It had so much English on it. It spun back into fair territory. He is going to be out on a ground out to 3. That was pretty wild for the second out of the inning, and that's going to leave it all up to Shohei Suzuki. Advancing to 3rd on that was O'Grady. So O'Grady's now at 3rd with 2 gone. As the right-hander Ito gets his sign from Usami, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. This is only a 2-game series between these two teams. There is going to be some other stuff. We've got our good friend Alexander Leggett in the house, masquerading as a Fluby tonight. We appreciate you. Hope you're doing good, Alexander. We're glad you could make it in. There's a fastball swung on and missed. The count is now 1-1 to Suzuki. Our friend Demon Slayer says he's got another under in the Buffaloes and Hawks game. I forget who's going for the Hawks, but it is Yoshinobu Yamamoto going for the Buffaloes, so that's probably a good call, as he should be able to keep the Hawks' bats in check. I think it's Bando going tonight for the Hawks. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is, as the left-handed hitting Suzuki waiting on the offering from Ito, who kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that just misses inside. The count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Our friend Fluby says, I never get to watch these things. Glad to make it tonight, though it is from the gym. There you go. So late night workout at 2 a.m. Might be doing some late night stuff during the week. I'm thinking about doing from now to the end of the season, calling games all night long. So there's the fastball that misses inside. The count is now 3-1 to Suzuki. Our friend the Demon Slayer says both starting pitchers have a 1 or under whip. Yeah, they can keep the runners off the base paths. That is very, very important. Friend Alexander says he had to make it up for the night auditor tonight. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and that's going to run the count to 3-2 to Suzuki. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Suzuki has the only hit tonight for the Lions. He had a double back in the first inning. He was stranded at second base as neither Mori nor Yamakawa could do anything in, but they've got a runner at third here in O'Grady. There's 2 gone here in the third inning. Suzuki is looking to try to punch the first run in here for the Lions as Ito works set. Comes the 52nd pitch of the ball game for the Fighters right-hander. And he kicks and delivers it as a fastball taken for a called third strike. Suzuki watched that one go by as he has gone for out number 3 here in the third inning. There was no runs in the inning, no hits, no errors. There was 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 3 complete. It's the Fighters no score and the Lions no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back. We call the top of the 4th inning when we return. Appreciate you guys for popping in. Welcome back, everybody. Just a look at that out-of-town scoreboard. The Chinichi Dragons are currently no-hitting the Yomiuri Giants through 4 innings. They have also jumped out to a 1-0 lead as they scored a run in the top of the 5th inning. 1-4-0 for the Dragons and nothing across the board for those Yomiuri Giants. It was Martinez who hit a solo shot, his 8th of the year. He's getting the start in left field. If I remember correctly, Martinez is a catcher by trade. He is getting the nod there. The Yokohama Dana Bay Stars have now opened up a 3-0 lead over the Hanshin Tigers. That is in the bottom of the 3rd. The Bay Stars are still batting and threatening. They've got runners at 2nd and 3rd with 2 gone. And that is now 3-0 for the Bay Stars. And, of course, your game here as we move to the top of the 4th inning, all locked at zeros. The other 3 games tonight, Chiba and Tohoku, Fukuoka and Oryx, and Hiroshima and Yakult Swallows all go off at 5 a.m. Eastern or 2 a.m. Pacific. And here's the first pitch delivered as a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to deep right field, but camping out underneath it is the right fielder Ito. He's going to make the catch. And with 1 pitch, Kataro Kiyomiya is retired for out number 1, and that is going to bring up the catcher Shingo Usami. Well, for Usami, he's batting .257. He's got 4 homers and 22 runs batted in. He bats from the left side against the right-handed throwing Matsumoto, who delivers a first pitch fastball that misses upstairs for a ball. The count is 1-0. Usami grounded to the second baseman his first time up. That was the first out of the 2nd inning. So there's the fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 1-1 on Usami. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Our friend Mick is in the house tonight. We welcome you back, Mick. Thanks for popping in, as always appreciative. So there's a split finger pitch swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes is to Usami. Like that Dodger Giant game is now a final. As we were talking about that a little bit earlier on, and it would appear that that game has been completed as is a fastball that misses, and the count is now 2-2. Looks like the Padres took care of the Dodgers in extra innings, 5-4 tonight. As there's a split finger that misses down. They appeal over to the third base umpire, and they say that Usami went, and that is going to retire him on strikes for the 2nd out of the inning. That is now going to be the 5th strikeout in the books for Matsumoto. The left-handed hitting Usami could not hold it up. Well, that's going to bring up Ryushi Sato, who is 0 for 1 tonight. He popped out to the third baseman his first time up. His average has dropped to 120 on the year. And here comes the first pitch from the right-hander Matsumoto, who kicks and fires. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike it is. Our friend, as there's a breaking ball that is taken for a ball, and the count is 1-1. Our friend Steve says he is giving the old sub over to Fluby, which is good. And here comes the 1-1 pitch. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. I will say this, we, with regards to the NPB and calling some of the games, I mentioned it to Steve Rademacher. We were denied, and also the living room knows about it as well. We were denied monetization on the channel because we were using some of Steve and our friend Zero Fox, as there's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 2-2, using some of their pre-recorded content. And what is a no-no on YouTube is to promote other people's stuff, which is a bit of a head scratcher to me. I don't understand why that would be, but that's what it is. There's a breaking ball swung on, it is chopped over to third. It is fielded by Hiranuma. He throws to first. That's going to be a ground out 5-3 for the third out of the inning. I'll talk a little bit more of that when I come back. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We're now through 3.5 innings. It is 0-0 with the Lions and the Fighters. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this. More music, and unfortunately, no Steve. Appreciate you for stopping in tonight, everybody. We are enjoying this one here. It's a pitcher's duel in Seibu. The Lions and the Fighters are locked at zeros in this one here. And of course, later on this evening, there are 2 other games that are going to go off in the Pacific League. The Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks and the Oryx Buffaloes, who are also tied for first place, square off in Osaka at the Kyocera Dome. The Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles are entertaining the Chiba Lotte Marines. The Golden Eagles are the team I would be surprised that would be making the playoffs. They have really not played very well in the back half of the season. They're hanging on by threads, and there's just too many teams ahead of them to have to catch. They're going to have to go on a roll, and either the Buffaloes, the Lions, or the Hawks are going to have to go into some sort of swoon the Golden Eagles to be able to catch back up. As we look at that out-of-town scoreboard, it is now 5-0 for the Bay Stars over the Tigers. It is still in the bottom of the third inning, and there's runners at first and second with 2 out. The Bay Stars are still looking for more. They've scored 4 in the inning. So leading it off here in the bottom of the fourth, it's going to be Tomoya Mori, Hataka Yamakawa, and Ninting Wu. You get things going here against the right-hander Ito. As there is a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count is 0-1. Yeah, it's one of those things that I just find to be a little bit, but I think it's the fact that we are replaying the content of the others, which is a little bit of a problem. I don't understand that. And I mean, we can verbally talk about it, but you can't actually video it. I think the other piece is that because we're running the videos, we haven't done anything to alter it or to change it. So, and I think that's because Steve and the others have put it on their their page as well. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count's now 2-1 to Maury. Maybe if Steve hadn't put up a couple of the ones that we run, we might have been able to get away with it. And that goes for Matt Hollis as well. So I find that to be a little bit strange. So we'll see what's going to happen here. Our friend DW is in the house tonight, and he says, who do you think is going to win this one? Well, I think it's a toss-up right now, but I still think it's the Lions. As the fastball has been swung on, it's popped up into shallow right field. Backing up on it is the second baseman, Ishii. He makes the catch. And that is going to retire Maury for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up the first baseman, Hitaka Yamakawa. Living Room says he misses those infomercials so much, he even misses Hollis singing. Yeah, there you go. So I got to figure out a couple of ways around it, but I have some ideas that we're going to do in the future. So here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0 to Yamakawa. Well, to be honest with you, Alexander, it's not the and this is the thing that we were talking about. It's actually not the monetization so much of as the stuff as there's a pop-up that's swung on. Ball's over to the right side of the infield. Moving over is Kiyomiya, and he's going to make the catch. That's going to retire Yamakawa for the second out of the inning. What you end up making on the video itself isn't so much the big deal. It's the super chats and some of the other stuff that you can, in terms of return on stuff, which is actually more important because we do get donations that are sent in from time to time to the channel, but we haven't been able to do some of that stuff, obviously because of that. Forgot to ask our friend the Living Room if your brother Jesse was able to open any of those repack wax cards that we do. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So when Jesse donated, he says, you got anything that we can bring? And I said, well, what we do is we sell those packages at the baseball games, the kids' games, the repack wax. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left center field. It's going to get over the head of the shortstop, Kamikawa Kabata, and it's going to drop in for a single as Ning-Ting Wu has got himself a bleeder base hit with 2 out here in the fourth. That is going to bring up the designated hitter, Takiya Nakamura. So it's actually, when we actually calculate, because back to Alexander's thoughts about it, it is more in particular probably a realm of about, I would say my projection is about $3,000 to $4,000 left off the table for doing some of that stuff. And so that's what I would project over the course of 12 months. And doing some of those other type of things. But that's the way it goes. We'll just have to, we're not in any particular rush. It was a rush to get to 1,000, but now that we're at 1,000, now I've got to go back and take care of some other stuff as they throw over to first base, and getting back is Ning-Ting Wu. So I was chuckling a little bit about it. I said, what would we do with the money? Well, I think if we can pull 3,000 to 4,000 through, there's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to deep left field, but it doesn't look like it's going to be deep enough. As camping out underneath it is the left fielder, Kondo. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to retire Nakamura, who looked to go yard, but he just missed that one. He got a little underneath it. He is gone for the third out of the inning. No runs in the inning, 1 hit by Ning-Ting Wu. There were no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're now through 4 completed as the Lions no score, the Fighters no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few minutes after this, and it is some more music, but I'm not singing for you. Welcome back, everybody. We appreciate you guys for being here tonight. We were laughing. We said about some of the stuff. I would say that what I would probably do with the next round of monies that would come in is we would be over in Japan doing some commentary live over there, or at least being able to do some coverage. I think it would be kind of cool to have some stuff during the Japanese season up onto our page. So that would be something that I would probably do with that. It's not about so much what you do with the money. It's going to be what we can do that can add to the channel as well. So just basically taking the money and putting it back into the channel in a different way. So that is going to bring up the 9, 1, and 2 hitters here in the order for the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham fighters. It's going to be Chusei Manami, then the top of the order in Daigo Kamikawa Kabata, and Go Matsumoto. 9, 1, and 2 to come to bat here to face the right-hander Wataru Matsumoto. Matsumoto, for the most part, had settled down since the first inning. He's only allowed a couple of hits in this one here. And here's the first pitch. It is a fastball that misses upstairs for ball 1. The count is 1-0. But that type of money doesn't take you too far. $3,000 or $4,000. I always say it's kind of like almost like I don't know, it's maybe the icing on the cake a little bit. It's not like it's going to buy you a house in Vancouver. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. It buys you a house with a $1.97 million mortgage. There's a breaking ball that catches the inside corner, and the count is now 2-1 to Manami. Manami struck out his first time out, as he is 0 for 1 tonight. He does have the power to be able to put the juice into one to send over the fence. And here comes the 2-1 pitch. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 3-1. 3 balls and 1 strike. 64 pitches through the first 4 innings for Ito. I have a feeling this is going to turn into the battle of the bullpens. And if it does turn into the battle of the bullpens, I should say 64 pitches for the right-handed pitcher Matsumoto. And again, there goes our A feed again, as we are a little bit behind. We do have the C feed running. I have to take a look. Our B feed is also down. Totally bizarre tonight, the way this is all shaping up. So here comes the 3-1 offering as the right-hander rocks into the motion. Now he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on, and Manami blasts this one to left field. Racing back and making the catch is O'Grady. And that is going to retire Manami for the first out of the inning. Man, we've had to go to all the different feeds tonight. Unbelievable. I don't know why this is, but it's been one of those nights. That is for sure. And that is going to bring up the top of the order in Daigo Kamikawa Kabata. Well, for Kamikawa Kabata tonight, he's 0 for 1. He has struck out looking, and he has walked in his 2 trips to the plate. And he takes a fastball outside for ball 1. And the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. As the right-hander Matsumoto delivers again, and he pops it up into shallow right field. Moving over toward the foul line is the right fielder who's got room, and that is Ito, and he makes the catch. And that is going to retire Kamikawa Kabata for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and that's going to leave it all up to the Pacific League leading hitter in Go Matsumoto. Well, for Matsumoto tonight, he is 1 for 2. He bunted it into a pop-out back in the first inning, and he singled his second time up. As I was lamenting the last time up, they took the bat out of his hands. Unbelievable. I could not understand why they did that. You're the designated hitter. You're paid to hit, not to bunt. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0. I like bunting. I really do. I really don't like the bunting in that particular situation, especially early in the ball game. You're in the first inning, and you've got a runner here as he squares the bunt again, and this is taken for a called strike, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Matsumoto. He is a leader in a number of offensive categories. As the right-handed hitting Matsumoto, as he swings and grounds the ball over to third base. It is fielded neatly by Hiranuma, who throws to first. It's up the line a little bit. A nice play by the first baseman, Yamakawa, to apply the tag. It's going to be a ground out 5-3 for the third out of the inning, and that will do it here for the Fighters in the top of the fifth. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 4.5. It's the Fighters, no score. The Lions, no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments after this with a few more musical tunes. Hang tight, everybody. We appreciate you guys for being here. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the fifth inning. It's the 7, 8, and 9 hitters to come to bat for the Lions. As we look at that out-of-town scoreboard, the Dragons still have a 1-0 lead. That is in the top of the sixth inning over the Giants. It is in the top of the fourth inning, and the Hanshin Tigers are trailing the Yokohama D-Na Bay Stars 5-0. And it is in the top of the fifth inning. In the bottom of the fifth inning here as the Lions are coming to bat, and we're locked at zeros right now. So here comes the first pitch from the right-hander Ito. It is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Hiranuma. Hiranuma 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out, looking his first time up. Our friend Alex says Japan's trying to stop you from seeing this train wreck. Yeah, this game here is certainly looks like nobody wants to score a run as a ground ball is hit softly to second. It is fielded by Ishii. He throws to first, and Hiranuma is retired easily for the first out of the inning. 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Brian O'Grady. Although for O'Grady tonight, he walked his first time up, and he was stranded at third base back in the third inning. It was 61 pitches for Ito in his 4 innings of work. So really very much similar, the two pitching performances here tonight. Not much difference between these two. Here's the first pitch to O'Grady. It's a breaking ball that misses outside for ball 1. The count's 1-0. O'Grady hitting .222 on the year with 15 homers and 46 runs batted in. Batting from the left side against the right-handed throwing Ito. Who kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. That was a very generous call by the home plate umpire. So 1 ball and 1 strike. One of the things I find fascinating is that we talk about reused content. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and pop foul. It's going to reach the seats behind home plate, and the count reigns at 1-2. So I guess that would be a question is, what do they consider reused content? We use our music in between innings to give us a little bit of a break. So I never could quite understand that. Would that be considered it as well? I guess we'll have to wait and find out a little bit. As time has been called. They step outside, so O'Grady steps out. He's going to reset himself a little bit. Never quite understood that so much from their point of view, or at least my point of view. So here comes the 1-2 pitch as the right-hander kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count's now 2-2 to O'Grady. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As we said, it's a very healthy crowd at the Belluna Dome in Saitama tonight. The crowd is into the affair here as the left-handed hitting O'Grady waiting on the 2-2 offering from the righty Ito, who delivers a fastball swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats over on the third base side, and the count remains at 2-2 strikes. As we mentioned, tomorrow night, same time, 10 o'clock Pacific or 1 a.m. Eastern, it'll be the Hawks and the Buffaloes. We'll get you the second game of that series. And there's a fastball swung on. It is popped up on the right side of the infield. Moving over underneath it is Ishii. He's going to make the catch. It's going to retire O'Grady for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Ito. Well, for Ito tonight, he had a sacrifice bunt his first time up. So he officially does not have an at-bat in this one. He entered the fray tonight hitting .248 with 7 homers and 22 RBIs. He has made a couple of catches in right field tonight. He is generally a pretty reliable outfielder for the Alliance. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So some of the group that was in here earlier who had figured it would be an under for the first 5 innings, including our friend Demon Slayer, that is absolutely correct. There is a ground ball hit to short. It is thrown to first. That is going to retire Ito at a ground out 6-3 for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here, as that is going to be no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. This game is so exciting, it's putting the living room to sleep. We're now through 5 complete innings, everybody. So we appreciate you guys for listening in. For those who are going to stick around with us. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We're moving to the top of the 6th inning, all locked up at zeros. We'll be back here in just a few. Well, we've been keeping everybody up to date on the scoreboard from around the NPB throughout this one, but we are going to take a look at the Major League Baseball out-of-town scoreboard, as we are going to have the proverbial Japanese halftime as the 5th inning is completed, and we are waiting for the 6th inning to begin. We always have an extended break in between. Chicago Cubs knocked off the San Francisco Giants today 4-2. Drew Smiley got the win. His 6th of the year against 8 losses, and it was Carlos Rodon taking the loss. He's 12-8. The Pittsburgh Pirates knocked off the St. Louis Cardinals 8-2 today. Contreras got the win for the Pirates. Miles Michaelis, the former Yomiuri Giant, took the loss. He goes to 11-11 on the year. The Miami Marlins got the win from Edwin Cabrera today. He is 5-2. David Peterson takes the loss for the Mets. Floro got his 4th save. The Marlins beat the Mets 6-3 in that one. The Baltimore Orioles came from behind to beat the Boston Red Sox 3-2. Reed got the win in relief. He's 2-0. Bello takes the loss for the Red Sox. He falls to 1-5. And it was Donovan Tate getting his 4th save of the year for the Orioles. The Philadelphia Phillies knocked off the Washington Nationals 5-3 today. Noah Syndergaard evened his record at 9-9. Patrick Corbin, on his way to 20 losses, lost his 18th of the year. He's 6-18. It was Nelson getting his 1st save for the Phillies. Tampa Bay Rays knocked off the New York Yankees today, 4-2. As it is Rasmussen who got the win, his 10th of the year for the Rays. Montez takes the loss for the Yankees. He drops to 5-12. It was Armstrong getting his 2nd save of the season for the Rays. The Toronto Blue Jays went into Texas and beat the Rangers today 4-3. It was Meza getting the win. He goes to 6-0. Leclerc took the loss. Jordan Romano got his 32nd save for the Blue Jays. The Astros, behind the pitching of Lance McCullers Jr., knocked off the Astros 4-3. Colors goes to 3-1. He did serve up a 2-run bomb to Mike Trout. Watts got the loss, and Presley picked up his 26th save of the year. Tigers knocked off the Royals 10-2. Joey Wentz got his first start. He went 6 2/3 shutout innings. Lynch takes the loss. He is 4-10. Guardians beat the Twins 7-6. Quantrill got the win. Bundy the loss. Clase got his 32nd save. Cincinnati Reds beat the Brewers 8-2. They scored 5 in the first inning and never really looked back in that one. Lodolo got the win. Alexander takes the loss for the Brew Crew. In a wild one in Colorado, it was the Rockies 13-10 over the Diamondbacks. Bard got the win in a relief as they scored 3 to win it in the ninth. Smith takes the loss for the Diamondbacks. Other scores, Padres beat the Dodgers in 10-5-4. Braves beat the Mariners 6-4 in Seattle. And the White Sox, with 5 in the top of the ninth, beat the Oakland A's 5-3. And now we're ready to get back to the action, as we appreciate you guys for being here. So here comes the first offering from the righty Matsumoto, who delivers a fastball to, check that, he delivers a fastball to Kensuke Kondo, who takes it for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Kondo tonight is but on base twice. He has singled and he has walked in his 2 trips, so officially 1 for 1. As there's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 0-2. Our friend in the living room before he left says every time he leaves, the fireworks start, so get your live bet overs going. That would probably have to be the case, because it's usually the case when the living room leaves. That's when things happen. So no balls and 2 strikes as the right-hander kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count's now 1-2 to Kondo. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. For a game that is nothing, you would have, or we would have expected that it would have been a lot quicker pace to this one. But it really hasn't been. It has been rather slow in this one here as the right-hander Matsumoto kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that comes inside, and it is hit Kondo on the 1-2 pitch. He is nailed. It's going to put him aboard for the 3rd time. That is going to bring up the second baseman, Kazunori Ishii. We get the replay of that one, and it looks like it's hit him in the tricep. Just couldn't get out of the way quick enough. Kondo is now the runner at first. So Kazunori Ishii coming to the plate. He is officially 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out looking his last time up. He walked back in the first inning. Our friend Alexander Leggett says, I don't think Living Room's curse will come true. Well, that's not the start that the Saitama Seibu Lions wanted here. I'll be curious to see if they are going to bunt Ishii here, if they're going to let him swing the stick. As here he is waiting on the offering from Matsumoto. As the right-hander works set. And now he kicks and delivers. It is a split-figure pitch and misses down and away, and the count is quickly 1-0 to Ishii. I think here in this situation, they have Kondo over at first base. Kondo can run. I wonder at what point in time you're going to try to steal somebody over to second, although Tomoya Mori does do a pretty good job. The pitcher here is certainly been able to hold the runners fairly well, has Matsumoto. He's fairly quick to the plate, and Mori is fairly efficient as well. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Our friend Alexander said, good for the Reds. They needed something to cheer about. Cincinnati, if you take away their absolutely atrocious start, they've been pretty decent after that start. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It's pop foul. Racing over was the third baseman Hiranuma, but he's going to watch it sail into the seats. It's going to run the count now to 1 ball and 1 strike. Kazunori Ishii. It'll be Ishii and then Imagawa to follow here as The leadoff batter, Kondo, reached on the hit batter. As we said, it is a very nice crowd here at the Balluna Dome to see these two clubs in action tonight. One of the better attended games I've seen the Lions have at home. There's a fastball swung on it. It's popped up over into left field. Camping out underneath it is O'Grady. He makes the catch, and that is going to retire Ishii for the first out of the inning. So one up and one away. It's going to bring up the center fielder, Yuma Imagawa. We have not had a ton of base runners on base. We've not had a double play in this one here to help either of the pitchers out, as they've been fairly efficient. The Seibu Seibu Lions have left 3 runners on base in their offensive turns. The Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters have stranded 5 tonight against their counterparts. So one gone here in the 6th inning as the right-hander Matsumoto holds set. And now he's ready to deliver to Imagawa. It's a split-finger pitch swung on and missed. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. One would have thought that it would come down to a 1-run ball game in this one here. Chinichi Dragons have extended their lead over the Amuri Giants to 2-0. It's in the top of the 7th inning now. The Giants are behind, and their Giants bullpen is not one of the better ones in the NPB this year. As here comes the 0-1 offering as the right-hander delivers. It's a fastball swung on and missed. The count is now 0-2 to Imagawa. So no balls and 2 strikes. It'll be Kotaro Kiyomiya who waits his turn on deck. The assumption that Imagawa doesn't ground himself into a double play. Here comes the 0-2 pitch now from Matsumoto. The right-hander gets his sign for Mori, and he works set. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down and away. Great stop by the catcher, Mori. Had to get into the left-handed batter's box to block that one. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Imagawa. Be curious to see how the Fighters will play this out over the next couple of years. I've said it in previous streams. When you lose Shohei Ohtani, Kohei Arihara, as well as Yu Darvish over the last 12 years, it makes it hard to rebuild your pitching staff. You don't just lose average guys. You lose some big-time arms, big-time power arms. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count's now 2-2. It makes it very difficult to recover from. Of course, we're also building that new stadium, so it kind of makes when they've sold off some of those players, not done with the intent of being able to at least be able to get themselves so they could financially be able to finance that stadium a little bit more. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, and they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner Kondo. I often think about that in a way like it was or at least in my mind, the way like it is in European soccer, where you sometimes will sell players with the smaller clubs to be able to finance your stadium, where you can put more fans in the stands and eventually rebuild your program. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. And Imagawa is gone on strikes for the 2nd out of the inning, as he is retired here. That's the 6th strikeout in my books here for the right-hander Matsumoto. That was a split finger variety. So Matsumoto with strikeout number 6. He entered the ball game tonight with 76 strikeouts in 104 innings, so he was less than 1 an inning. This is one of his better efforts right here for Wataru Matsumoto. So that brings Kotaro Kiyomiya to the plate with 2 gone and a runner at first. And here comes the first offering from the righty, delivers a fastball that catches the inside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. I will say this, the home plate umpire tonight has definitely been able to make the calls, that's for sure, on the inside corner. Our friend Josh S. is in the house here, and he says, I like the Reds pitching core with Green, Lodolo, and Ashcraft. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-1. Yeah, I've seen Logan Gilbert pitch live for the Mariners this year. He is nasty. And on top of that, when you think of the Mariners with Logan Gilbert, I saw George Kirby go the other night in Detroit last week. And then you pile on top of that Emerson Hancock, who's down in the minors, although Hancock seemed to struggle a little bit this year as the fastball swung on it. It's grounded over to first. Yamakawa makes a nice play. He fields it and steps on the bag. Kiyomiya is retired on a ground out to 3 for the third out of the inning. That is going to do it here for the Fighters in their half of the sixth. No runs, no hits, no errors. A one runner left the board. We're now through 5.5. It is the Fighters no score, the Lions no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll come on back and talk a little bit more about some of the pitching around the MLB as well as the NPB. Be right back, guys. Nothing, everybody. We're going to the bottom of the sixth inning. Hang tight. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving now to the bottom of the sixth inning. It's going to be the top of the order coming up for the Lions. It means Suzuki Genda, Shohei Suzuki, and Tomoya Mori is the 1, 2, and 3 hitters in the batting order for the Lions. As Genda tonight is 0 for 2. He has grounded to second and grounded to first in his 2 trips to the plate. As he is going to be facing the right-hander Ito for the third time tonight. Ito at 71 pitches through the first 5 innings, and he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on, is lifted into left field. Moving back over underneath it is Kondo. He's going to make the catch. With 1 pitch, there is a 1 away here in the sixth inning, and that'll bring up the center fielder, Shohei Suzuki. Well, for Suzuki, he is 1 for 2 tonight. He's doubled and he has struck out looking. That double in the first inning that, well, we called it a double. I haven't officially taken a look at the stat line on that one or not to see if he was given the double. It was a bobble in the left field corner by the left fielder Kondo. Officially give him a double on that. Did they? Suzuki squares the bunt. He takes a breaking ball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Kondo had bobbled the ball. It was definitely a single. As he had raced over, I would have thought it was probably not a ordinary play of ordinary effort, so I probably would have given him the double as well as I was calling for initially. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 0-2 to Suzuki. So no balls and 2 strikes. Suzuki entered the fray tonight hitting 261 with the homer and 12 RBIs. I said the one thing that popped for me was the fact he's a center fielder without any stolen bases. He's got nothing. So here comes the 0-2 offering as the right-hander kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded to short. Fielded neatly by the shortstop, Kamikawa Kabata. He throws to first. Suzuki is retired on a ground out 6-3 for the second out of the inning. Just like that, we got 2 away, and that'll bring up the catcher, Tomoya Mori. I don't know, why does it feel this one here's got extra innings written all over it? Saturday bonus baseball from Seibu, and the way the pace of this game is, we're almost approaching the 2-hour mark. We've got 6 innings under our belts. There hasn't been any pitching changes, obviously. Both the starters are still in. But it is getting into the point of the game where you got to think that they're going to be passing over to the bullpen. And if it goes to the bullpen, my needle goes over to the Lions. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. You certainly have the best bullpen still in the Pacific League and in all the NPB. But the Fighters have been fairly decent with their bullpen this year. More than respectable, one would say, as there's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is now 1-1. Friend Alexander says, McGrady just needs to hit a dinger, or O'Grady, I think, needs to hit a dinger, and everybody can all go home. There you go. There's a breaking ball swung on and grounded foul down the first base line, and the count is 1-2 to Mori. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 gone here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The crowd is in good flavor tonight, as they're continually to cheer on. As I said, it's probably one of the most healthiest crowds I've seen in Seibu this year. If it's not a full house, it's got to be very close to capacity. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a split finger pitch that bounces in the dirt and squirts away from the catcher, Asami. That's going to run the count to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As we mentioned, we'll be back on tomorrow night, and then I'm going to try to run a stretch of games over the course of the week. The 2 a.m. Pacific or 5 a.m. Eastern. Try to run a bunch of games during the week. We'll see how that goes. I might try to even do a doubleheader tomorrow night. Here's the 2-2. It's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. And Mori is down on strikes for the 3rd out of the evening. And that is going to do it. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We're now through 6 complete innings. It is the Fighters no score and the Lions no score. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back with the top of the 7th after this and some musical notes once again. It's nothing, everybody. We're going to the top of the 7th inning. We'll be back in just a few after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the 7th inning, and it is going to be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters coming to bat for the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters. That means Shinjo Usami, Ryusi Sato, and Chusei Manami. to face the right-hander Wataru Matsumoto, who is on to start his 7th inning of work. Both of these pitchers have been very effective, only allowing a couple of hits in tonight's ball game. As Usami is waiting on the first delivery here from the right-hander Matsumoto, who kicks and delivers a fastball that swung on and fouled away. It's into the netting down the left field line, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Usami. Usami tonight is 0 for 2. He's grounded to second, and he has struck out in his 2 trips to the plate. As the right-hander Matsumoto goes back to work, he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Our friend Alexander says these guys should make a camp at the mound. It's looking pretty good. They have silenced the bats so far here in this one. I know there's been a few games this year that have been 0-0 ties, as there's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is 1-2. That one looked like it was a quick pitch there by Matsumoto. He didn't quite give the full big delivery. He tried to sneak that pitch right there by the left-handed hitting Usami. As he kicks and delivers, it is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. He has that little bit of a kick. There's that little bit of a pump, and then he delivers. It's fun to watch him pitch here is this Matsumoto as he rocks into the windup. And now he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. We are now past the witching hour on the Pacific Coast. This game here does not look like it has any time soon here to finish. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. It's been a lot of fun calling some of these games this year, and this game here has been a pitcher's duel for sure, or maybe just poor hitting at the hitters there. There's a split finger pitch and misses down. They appeal over to the third base umpire, but they say Usami didn't go. That runs the count now to 3-2. It was 89 pitches through 6 innings for the right-hander Matsumoto as he's approaching the 100-pitch mark. It's going to be the first team to blink. We don't know yet. There was a fastball swung on. Ball is lifted into deep left field. Moving back on it is O'Grady. He makes the catch at the edge of the warning track, and Usami is gone for the first out here of the 7th inning. So 1 up and 1 away. That is going to bring up the third baseman, Ryushi Sato. Well, for Sato, he is 0 for 2 tonight. He is popped to third, and he's grounded to third. 0 for 2 against the right-hander Matsumoto here. As he gets himself set in the batter's box, he is crowding in the plate a little bit here as the right-handed hitting Sato, and he takes a first pitch for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Makes you wonder what his thought process is. He's right up on the plate, and then he watched the fastball get the outside corner. That called strike. Here comes the 0-1 offering as Matsumoto delivers it as a fastball swung on and lifted foul down the right field line. That's going to get into the seats, and the count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. So no balls and 2 strikes to Sato. As he's waiting here on the offering from the right-hander who kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball. Take it for a called third strike. Sato stood there and watched that one go by for out number 2 here in the inning. And that is yet another strikeout by Matsumoto, who continues to rack them up here tonight. That is strikeout number 7 in 6 2/3 innings for the right-hander. That is going to bring up the right fielder, Chusei Manami. I was saying about Manami earlier that he is one of those hitters that has got some juice in the stick. He's got those 14 homers on the year. is among the Pacific League leaders. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count's 0-1. One would think that the youngster is probably going to continue to improve. He's batting now 208 on the year. As we said, he's hitting about 10 points higher than he did last year in limited at bats. As the breaking ball misses upstairs, the count is 1-1. I would think Manami is going to continue to get the opportunity to be rolled out for the next couple of seasons as he is more of a veteran. There's a fastball, and again, that was Matsumoto doing a bit of a quick pitch. He didn't have the big delivery as he has now run the count to 1-2 on Manami. He tried to sneak a fastball by him. There is action in the Lions bullpen. One would think that this might be the final hitter that the right-hander is going to see tonight here. And here comes the 1-2 pitch from Matsumoto, who kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball swung out and fouled off into the feet of the hitter. Our friend Alexander says, Manami has upside for any team. I could see him traded. That's the one thing in the NPB. Domestic trades do not happen all that often. The free agency does. And yeah, there's some odd trades that do happen here and there. And I think that Manami is one of those players that's going to be in a fighter's uniform for a while. Here's the 1-2. And that is a split finger pitch that's golf foul down the right field line. And the count remains at 1-2. And look at this club here that they are rolling out. And it's a fairly young ball club for the fighters. There's not a lot of veteran presence outside of Kensuke Kondo in the lineup. A lot of the players in tonight's ball game are in that 26 and under range. The shortstop, Kamikawa Kabata, is a rookie, but he's, if I remember correctly, when I was looking before the game, he's a 25-year-old rookie. There is a fastball waved at and missed. And Manami is down on strikes for the third out of the inning. That's the 8th strikeout by Matsumoto. That might be his final out of the ball game. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We are now moving to the bottom of the 7th inning. We are all locked at zeros. Hang tight, everybody. We will be right back in just a couple moments after this. And this we can give you because this is ours. And they can't call this recycled content. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the 7th inning, and there is some in-between inning entertainment as the Lion mascot was chasing somebody off of the field. It is going to be the heart of the batting order coming up for the Lions. And at their half of the 7th inning, it's going to be Hatake Yamakawa, Ninting Wu, and Takia Nakamura. Our friend Alexander says, Team Honey gets my vote. Do I have a favorite? I know that our friend the living room always talks about a favorite. I don't have any particular one. Prefer not to make that comment on the air for my reason why. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed, and Yamakawa almost screwed himself into the ground. The count is quickly 0-1. Just don't really fancy. It's not my style, I guess, as I would say. But that is just, yeah, not my style. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. And the pitch is a split finger pitch that misses down from Ito, and the count is 1-1. Certainly Yamakawa with one swing of the bat could jumpstart the offense here for the Lions. I think that if we're going to see a run scored, it's going to come here either in the 7th or the 8th inning for the Lions. We may not get to the bottom of the 9th inning. There's a breaking ball that's a teardrop that falls in for a called strike, and the count is now 1-2. That looked like something you'd see on the slow pitch diamonds. It had so much arc on it. So 1-2 strikes to Yamakawa. As the right-hander Ito holds set at the belt. And now he kicks and fires. It's a breaking ball, waved out and missed, and Yamakawa goes down on strikes as he is retired here for the first out of the inning. Entering tonight's ball game, Hiromi Ito had 100 strikeouts in 137 2/3 innings. It's only his 4th here in this one. Last year, I was looking at Ito's numbers before the ball game started. He was almost at a K per inning, and he's fallen off the pace. This is his 2nd year in the NPB, as last year was his rookie year. That's it. Our friend Alexander. No, just not those cheerleaders. That's the only part there, Alex. As there's a first pitch, it is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Ning-Ting Wu. Wu is 1 for 2. He's got a single in 2 trips to the plate. As the right-hander Ito ready to offer again, and it's a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 strike to Wu. So that is the part there. It's not so much the cheer section. It's I think I'd rather be picking the Eagles cheerleaders, or maybe even the Commanders cheerleaders. More up my alley. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. As the right-hander Ito works set. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that just misses. And the count is now 2-1 strike to Wu. Wu does have one of the 2 hits tonight for the Lions. Only 4 hits in this ball game. Wu has 1. The other was a double by Suzuki back in the 1st inning. As here's the offering. It is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 2-2 to Wu. So 2 strikes. So the right-hander, Ito ready to go back at it again. He gets the sign from his catcher, Usami. This is going to be the 89th pitch of the ballgame. As Wu is waiting here on the offering. He kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul. It's going to go over top of the netting and into the seats. I'd like to see some of the angle on that netting, because sometimes when the balls are lifted up, they get right over top of that netting, and they really doesn't do a lot of protection. The fly ball stuff is probably a little bit different than the line drives. It's to prevent the line drives from being missiled into the seats to those unsuspecting fans. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. It's a fastball that misses upstairs to Wu, and the count is now 3-2. So one would have to anticipate that Matsumoto's day was done the way that the Lions were heating up in the bullpen in that last inning. But I would have to say that the starter Ito is probably not that far behind for the Fighters. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball taken for a called 3rd strike. Wu stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched that one go by for out number 3, as he is retired. As there is 2 away, and that's going to bring up Takeya Nakamura. Well, Nakamura tonight is 0 for 2. He has popped to short, and he's flown to left. As we talked about before, Nakamura is in the twilight of his NPB career, the 39-year-old. Has 10 homers and 29 runs batted in on the year, a far cry from the days when he was smacking north of 40 homers out in a year. There's a fastball swung on and missed. The count is 0-1. His average has dipped down to 194. In this ball game here tonight, he has the start as the designated hitter. I have to say, I've seen Nakamura play earlier this year, and I was really surprised at how fleet of foot he is for a big fella. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into left field, and it is just going to get down foul. That's going to run the count to 0-2. He just got that one down the fists a little bit, came out around it a little too much. He's going to walk back towards the dugout as he's probably going to get himself another piece of lumber. There is action in the Lion bullpen, as it does look like that Wataru Matsumoto's day is probably going to be over. So no balls and 2 strikes to Nakamura. There's 2 gone here in the 7th inning, as the right-hander Ito gets his sign from the catcher Usami. And now he steps off the backside of the rubber. He reaches for the rosin bag, and we're going to do this all over again. The crowd is in good form here in Saitama as the home crowd is cheering on their one-time big slugger, Takeya Nakamura. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to third. It is fielded neatly by the third baseman, Sato. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Nakamura on a ground out 5-3 for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, the Lions go quietly in their half of the 7th. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 7 complete innings. It is the Fighters no score and the Lions no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the top of the 8th inning when we return right after this. We appreciate you guys for being here tonight. Here is one of our Hall of Fame memories. We're going to the top of the 8th, everybody. We're locked at zeros. We'll be back in 45 seconds with the call after this. There is a pitching change, and we'll get that for you when we return. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Kaima Taira on the mound here to relieve Wataru Matsumoto. So it is going to be a bullpen battle now from here on out. The right-hander Taira is having himself a very good year, as he is going to be working in his 52nd ball game. He's 1-3 on the year. He's also got 7 saves. The first pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. That's the top of the order. Daigo Kamikawa Kabata, Go Matsumoto, and Katsuki Kondo face the right-hander here, and there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-2. Taira is having himself a absolutely stellar season. He has worked 48 2/3 innings. He's allowed 33 hits. He's walked 17 and struck out 65. As here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 0-2 to Kamikawa Kabata. He does have a 1.66 ERA on the season so far. There was a point where he'd hardly given up any runs in his first 30-some-odd innings of work. There's another fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-2. Remains at 0-2. So he has been very, very electric. He is the Pacific League. He is among the leaders in appearances. This is his 52nd appearance in this one. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. It is picked up by the catcher Mori. He throws to first. It's going to go down as a strikeout, 2-3 on the retirement of Kamikawa Kabata. as he is erased for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up Go Matsumoto. Our friend John McClintish says, thank you for the play-by-play. Well, we appreciate you for being here, John. And thank you for popping in here with us. As here's the first pitch from Tyre. It's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. So hopefully you can come on back and be with us again tomorrow night when we do the Buffaloes and the Hawks. It'll be 10 o'clock Pacific time. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-1. Our friend DW asked the question, what do you think of O'Neill Cruz on the Pirates? It's a bit of a freak of nature, a 6'7" shortstop, a bit unheard of. He's got a cannon for an arm, and he's got some juice in the bat, but I think the best is yet to come. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1 2 to Matsumoto. Matsumoto is 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a single in 3 trips. He tried to bunt back in the first inning and ended up popping out to the catcher, and he's also grounded to third. So 1 2 as the right-hander Tyra delivers a fastball that misses down and in, and the count's now 2-2. So 2 2 it is. Tyra gets his sign from his catcher Mori. He's ready to go back at it again. As here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 3-2. So 3 2 I would have thought that O'Neill Cruz may have been maybe more suited for an outfield position. Obviously, you can move a shortstop around anywhere. And there's the 3-2 pitch, and it's a breaking ball that misses inside. It's going to be ball 4 as Matsumoto is going to get himself a walk. And that is going to bring up Kensuke Kondo. Well, for Kondo tonight, he's done it his way. He's got 3 times he's been up to bat, and he's reached 3 different ways. He's had a single, a walk, and he's been hit by a pitch. Officially 1 for 1. He's got 1 of the 2 hits. The other hit for the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham fighters in this one belongs to Matsumoto. So Matsumoto with 1 and Kondo with the other. We'll have to keep our eye on Matsumoto because he can run. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. Matsumoto has 21 stolen bases on the year. And one would have to think they want to try to get him into scoring position, maybe even a hit and run in this spot. As it is 1 no strike. He's going to get himself a good pitch to hit. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball. Swung on and missed, and Kondo almost falls backwards. And now he has asked for the spray to give him a little bit more pine tar, more grip on the bat. So 1 1 it is. Our friend Fluby says if there's a RBI in this game, he figures Kondo's going to get it. And our French friend, undrafted player in the house tonight, there's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep right center field, and this ball is going to get down. It's off the wall. Matsumoto is digging around third. He's heading home. Here comes the throw to the plate, but it's not going to be in time. Kondo is going to get himself a RBI double, his second hit of the ball game, and Matsumoto comes all the way around to score from first base, and that is going to put the Fighters up 1-0 here in the top of the 8th inning. So Kondo with his second hit of the night, as he is able to bring Matsumoto all the way around to score, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Kazunori Ishii. Our friend, undrafted player, says, I'm relaxing and trying to organize my collections and listening to your live stream. Well, we always appreciate you for being here. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do with the World Baseball Classic qualifiers. I was thinking about maybe doing some of those games. Our friend Alexander the Prophet made that call. It was a right on in that decision. Kondo, who now has reached base 4 times tonight, was a RBI double to put the Fighters on top 1-0 here in the top of the 8th inning. And here comes the pitch from Tyra. It's a fastball that misses outside for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Kazunori Ishii tonight 0 for 2 and a walk. He was stranded back in the first inning. When the Fighters had a chance to score a run, they had stranded the bases loaded. And now the catcher Mori asks for time as he wants to go out and have a couple of words with his pitcher Tyra, and that conference is now over. Friend Josh says I should try to call him if I have the time. I just have to look at it. I know that they've got a couple of games in the daytime. I probably would have to be the earlier of the two. And here comes the pitch. It is a split figure pitch, swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-1. The way it sets up, I took a look at the bracket. It really sets up for the Germans and the Czechs to go through. It is, I believe, a double knockout situation in both of those. And I think they get the opening bye, or they don't have to play in the first game. And there's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count is now 2-1. The baseball in the Czech Republic is really picked up over the years. They have got a very strong program. Draci Bruno, we talked about this before. That's a pretty good program. There's a ground ball over to second. It is fielded neatly by the second baseman, Wu, who throws to first. And that is going to retire Ishii on a ground out 4-3. It's going to advance Kondo over to third base. And that is going to bring up the center fielder, Yuma Imagawa. I see our friend Undrafted Player says that Bruce Bochy is the current French baseball team manager for the qualifications. Interesting that they bring Bochy in. There's a fella who used to coach out here who was the French national team manager a number of years ago, John Haar. As there is a breaking ball that misses down and away. The count is 1-0. John Haar is a Canadian Baseball Hall of Famer. He was able to get Canada to I believe a gold medal. It was the first medal, or it wasn't a gold medal. It was a medal, first medal ever. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to left field, moving over to his right and making the catch as the right fielder O'Grady. And that is going to do it here for the Fighters in their half of the 8th inning. But they open the scoring as they get their first run of the ball game. 1 run in the inning on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 7.5. It is the Fighters 1 and the Lions no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments after this with all the action. We return some more cheerleaders for us. Hang tight. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters in the batting order coming up for the Seibu Lions. That means Shota, Hiranuma, Brian O'Grady, and Ito are the scheduled hitters to come to bat here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Hiranuma is 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out looking, and he is grounded to second. As we do have a pitching change here also for the Fighters. As I said before, it is in my opinion, still a chance here for the... Oh, there's actually going to stay with Ido. That's interesting. I thought they were going to the bullpen, but Ido is still the pitcher on the mound. He's coming back out for inning number 8. Well, that's an interesting decision, but they do face the bottom third of the batting order, so Ido is coming out for the 8th inning of work here. He's only at 94 pitches through the first 7 innings, so maybe he's just getting himself loosened up. The first pitch is a breaking ball that is taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Left-handed hitting Hiranuma. Hiranuma, as we said, he's got some familiarity with the fighters as he was once upon a time a player in their organization. And here comes the 0-1 pitch. There's the fastball taken for a called strike under the hands. The count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Curious to see how those qualifiers go. I know that the French team is in there, obviously, and I think that the Spaniards are also involved in that as well. There's the 0-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on, and it's just tapped foul over on the first base side. The count remains at 0-2. Our friend, the undrafted player, says that the most popular are the Netherlands and Italy. That would be absolutely, of course. Both of those 2 leagues are the strongest European leagues. And then I would say the German league would be next. There's a breaking ball swung on and grounded down the first baseline. And the count is going to remain at no balls and 2 strikes. I remember it would have been in 2009 or 2010. The French and the Germans played I believe it was an 8-game or a 10-game series. I think it was 4 games in each country or 5 in each country. When you go back 25 years ago, the French national program and the Germans were pretty much on a par. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed, or swung on and fouled away, and the count is now going to remain at no balls and 2 strikes. But the spread between those countries is great. The French did not win a game against the Germans that year. I haven't looked at the French roster for the Classic at this point yet. I'm curious. I believe Great Britain has also got a chance. As here's the 0-2 pitch. It's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Hiranuma. Brian O'Grady is waiting his turn on deck. So here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2. Our friend, the undrafted player, says, I didn't know the Canadian who was the French manager. Yeah, so I think John would have been about maybe 10 or 12 years ago. He was in charge of the national program. Eric Gagne, of course, was one of the players out of the Quebec area of Canada who played for Canada. There's a breaking ball that misses. The count is now 2-2. Actually, that was actually a changeup that floated like a breaking ball, had some depth to it, but it was up high in the zone. I had to get that on the replay. That was a pretty strange looking pitch there. Here comes the 2-2. As Ito delivers, it is a split finger pitch swung on and grounded foul. This is turning into quite the at-bat here as Hiranuma has taken him to quite the battle. This is going to be the 10th pitch of the at-bat. As Hiranuma has battled the right-hander Ito to a 2-2 count. As the left-handed hitting third baseman waits here on the offering from Ito. They set him up inside, and here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It is popped up on the third base side. Moving over and making the catch is the catcher Usami, and that is going to retire Hiranuma. But quite the battle. A 10-pitch at bat. That'll take a little bit of sting out of the right-hander, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Brian O'Grady. Well, O'Grady, when he steps into the box, is in scoring position. So 0 for 1 is O'Grady on the evening. He's also got a walk to his name. As the right-hander Ito ready to deliver. He kicks and fires. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is popped up. This is behind second base. The shortstop is Kamikawa Kabata, who makes the catch. And that is going to retire O'Grady on one pitch. So you've got Hiranuma, who battles him for 10 pitches. You think he really, really, really is going to be able to take the sting out of him. And O'Grady swings at the first pitch and pops it up for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to the right fielder, Ito. That's where I would be just shaking my head. So Ito comes to bat. There's the breaking ball delivered. This ball is spanked into deep left center field. This ball is going to be back, and it is going to be gone. A home run. Or is it not? Or is it bounced in for a ground rule double? We're going to have to wait and see here. Looked like that ball was gone, but nope, it is bounced off the warning track and into the seats. And that is going to be a 2-out ground rule double for Ito. Our angle there, it looked like that ball had sailed right in, but no, not Suri. That pitch there was a breaking ball on the outside part of the plate. He got his arms extended around the ball. And yep, sure enough, that's exactly what it did. It actually hit in front, and it rolled up, it kind of hit the fence, and then the top spin on the ball took it over. That is going to be a double for Ito, and that'll bring the top of the order up in Suzuki Genda. Our friend Tim has popped in here. He says, dang it, come on, Lions. I thought we were going to have ourselves a 1-1 game, but there was 2 out with the runner in scoring position. And Suzuki Genda steps to the plate. Genda tonight is 0 for 3. He's grounded to second, he's grounded to first, and he is flown out to left field. So 4 outs to go for the Fighters. The Lions looking to tie it up here in the 8th. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. As the shortstop Genda waits here on the offering from the right-hander Ito, who holds set, and now he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-1. Yeah, you'll sometimes, our friend undrafted player says about the players that are brought in. Certainly there are some players that will be considered for national team duty. I would think that the squads that will represent in the qualifiers may not be the ones that are going to be in the actual classic. There's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-2. I think all of a sudden you'll see some German passports show up out of nowhere. I believe Brendan Donovan, the rookie for the St. Louis Cardinals, has German citizenship. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Genda. As Ito now works in the set position. And he kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-2. A friend undrafted player says many European squads have players who are not born in the country who they play for. Yeah, it's usually parental or grandparent passports. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Genda. The runner at second is Ito. There's 2 gone here in the last half of the 8th. Righty Ito is ready to deliver, and it is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. It was the 111th pitch of the ball game by Ito. One would think that this is going to be his last inning of work. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As Genda is waiting here on the offering from Ito. Genda looking for his first hit of the night. 3 hits for both teams now in this one. Ito gets his side from his catcher, Usami, and now he's ready to do it again as he works in the set position. He checks the runner at second, which is Ito. Checks again and now delivers. It is a split finger pitch swung on, and it's hit into the netting down the third base line, and the count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Genda is got the crowd behind him, and a lot of the Lions fans are now on their feet. Here comes the 2-2 pitch as Ito kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted down the left field line. Racing over and making the catch over the shoulder is Kondo. What a catch. And that is going to retire Genda for the 3rd out of the inning. That will do it here in the bottom of the 8th for the Lions. No runs, 1 hit, the 2-out double by Ito. No errors and 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 8 complete. It is the Fighters 1 and the Lions no score. Stick around, everybody. The Fighters are coming up for their half of the 9th inning. We'll be right back after this. It's a 1-0 ball game, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. It is a lead here for not for the Brewers and the Diamondbacks. We hit the wrong button. It is going to be the 1-0 lead for the Fighters. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Our friend Undrafted Player was talking about Bruce Bochy, who is the manager of the French national team. This fella here, I'm going to put into the chat, and also coached the French national team program for a little bit. You can look him up afterwards. That's John Haar, former farmhand of the New York Yankees. I think he might have been in the Giants organization as well. Interesting read on him in the Baseball Hall of Fame. He's a Canadian Baseball Hall of Famer, a BC Baseball Hall of Famer. You can look him up and check him out. We do have a pitching change, as it is going to be the left-hander coming in for the Lions. It is going to be Kuman. There is a change as Nishikawa is going into the outfield as well. We'll have to get that for you as he comes to bat. So Kuman is in. He is a lefty. This is going to be his 13th appearance of the year, as he is ready to face the 6, 7, and 8 hitters in the order. It's going to be Kataru Kiyomiya, Shinjo Usami, and then Ariusi Sato. And the first pitch delivered to Kiyomiya is the fastball that misses upstairs for ball 1. Also a former fighter. He's also played with the Amuri Giants. Kuman is making his 13th appearance of the year. He's yet to give up an earned run this year. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep left center field, and the words are just out of my mouth. And back on the warning track and making the grab is the left fielder. That is Nishikawa, who has come into the ball game. So 2 pitches and 1 away. Just about to say he hasn't given up the earned run this year and almost the kiss of death. The lefty has appeared in 7 innings, allowing 3 hits. He's walked 4 and struck out 6. But he needed every inch of the Balloonadome to keep that one in the park, and that is going to bring up the catcher, Shinjo Usami. Well, Usami tonight is 0 for 3. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Our friend undrafted player, no issues, no problems. Doesn't really talk about his French time, but he did have time with the French national team afterwards, and he would have been in the late 2000s as a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Left-hander against the left-hander. Kuman is now behind in the count at 2-0. He now works set. And he kicks. And he delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count is now 3-0 to Usami. A lot of different rules. Got a French national team pitcher play for me in 2008. His name was Patrick Carlson. He was a pitcher and a outfielder. There's a breaking ball that misses or that catches the outside corner, and the count now goes to 3-1. Carlson had some bat speed. He had some strength. He had a little bit of pop on the stick. He could put displays on in batting practice, but when we got to the game, it was a different kettle of fish. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now is 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. There is action in the Lions bullpen. They have a lefty and a righty up and throwing. So one would think that this is not going to be an easy one here for the Lions in the ninth. Here's the 3-2 pitch. It's a fastball that misses down. It's going to be ball 4 as Usami has drawn himself a 1-out walk. Got to come in and you got to throw strikes, and that's been a bit of a problem here. Our friend DW asked the question. He says, do you think Familia should be cut from the MLB? Now, we are going to get ourselves a pitching change, as the manager, Suji, has seen enough. So we'll get you that update in just a moment when we come back. Familia, he is running out of chances. It's not just the MLB, it's right across the board. I think he has got himself into some challenges, but I can't currently comment on his latest shenanigans. He is something that is probably something that will have to happen. I'm not sure if we're going to figure this out. That's the former Mets and Oakland pitcher that DW is asking about. We'll be right back in just a moment, everybody, and we'll get you the change when we return. Welcome back, everybody. It is a pitching change. It's going to be Ryusuke Moriwaki coming into the ball game, as he is going to take over for Kuman, who is going to be the 4th pitcher used tonight by the Lions. Moriwaki is making his 37th appearance. He's 1-1 on the year with the save. He's worked 32 in 3rd innings. He's allowed 25 hits. He's only walked 6, and he has struck out 28. He's got an ERA of 1.39. So Moriwaki is coming on here in relief. And he is going to be facing Ryu. Well, he's scheduled to face Sato. I love it when I see the Japanese players literally sprinting to the batter's box. I'll have to see if it is going to be Sato that's going to be here to face him. It does look like we're going to have a pinch hitter. That ought to tell you when a player is sprinting to the batter's box to face the pitcher. This is Yachi, who's going to be coming into the ballgame, and more one would expect he's probably going to go into third base. Ryota Yachi in the ballgame. Classic stuff. They sprint to the batter's box to face the pitcher. Can't wait to face you. So Yachi here ready to face the first offering from Moriwaki, who delivers a fastball. Takes it for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. For Yachi on the season, this is his 64th ball game. At a 266 batting average, he's got no homers and 9 runs batted in. As Moriwaki holds set. And now he delivers. It's a fastball swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side. And the count goes to 0-2. I don't know why you're sprinting up to face Moriwaki if you fall in the hole 0-2. But that's exactly what he did. So no balls and 2 strikes. The right-handed hitting Yachi waiting on the delivery here from Moriwaki, who holds set. And now he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fighters are looking to add to their lead. There's 1 out here in the 9th inning. The Lions are trying to keep them at bay as they want to get their chances in the bottom of the 9th. A lot easier to work with 1 down than it is 2 or 3 down. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. As Moriwaki delivers, he spikes that one in the dirt, and a good stop by Mori. The runner at first base, Usami, who's the catcher, did not advance. That was a split finger pitch. It was spiked into the dirt at about 57 feet away from the pitcher's rubber. Good block by Mori. He definitely earned his money there. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. The other games that were at the start time as this one are also still underway. It's the bottom of the 9th. As the Yomiuri Giants are down to their final out. They're trailing 5-2 to the Chinichi Dragons. There's a breaking ball swung on it. Is popped up just behind second base. Moving over underneath it is Ning Ting Wu. He makes the catch. That is going to retire Yachi for the second out of the inning. So 2 away, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Chusei Manami. Or at least it's scheduled to bring Manami up. The Bay Stars are still leading 5-0 over the Hanshin Tigers. That game is in the bottom of the 8th inning. Bay Stars are threatening. They got runners at first and second with 1 gone. So Manami steps to the plate. He's 0 for 3. He's struck out twice, and he's flown to left field. And here's the first pitch from Moriwaki. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. As the right-hander gets the sign, and now he works to the set position. And he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. All the other 3 games across the NPB are going to be at 5 a.m. Eastern or 2 a.m. Pacific. That's the Carp and the Swallows in the Central League. The Marines and the Golden Eagles and the Hawks and the Buffaloes go at it in the Pacific League. And those games, again, are at 5 a.m. Eastern or 2 a.m. Pacific. So here comes the 1-1 pitch as the right-hander holds set. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball. I'll take it for a called strike. The count is 1-2. Our friend Tim says the Lions are going to ruin my 3-leg parlay. The Dragons under 10 and the Bay Stars. I had the Lions. Well, if you would have asked me before this game started, Tim, I probably would have picked the Lions in this one as well. But I have to say that the pitching from Ito was absolutely outstanding as the fastball misses outside. Counts 2-2, but the Fighters bullpen, well, we'll have to wait and see. Anything can happen with a one-run ball game. The Lions in the next half inning have the 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming to bat. So it's not going to be an easy task at all for the Fighters. So here's the 2-2 pitch. There's the breaking ball swung on and missed. And Manami is down for the third time tonight on strikes. He is retired for out number 3. Morawaki comes in and does the job. No runs, no hits, no errors. One runner left the board. As we are now through 8.5, we're moving to the bottom of the ninth inning. There will be a pitching change as the big boss has come out to let the home plate umpire know. We'll be back in just a couple moments, everybody. Appreciate you guys for being with us. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be Nao Ishikawa coming in to try to close this one out for the Fighters. Ishikawa on the year is 2-1. He's got 5 saves. This is going to be his 31st appearance. He has worked 27 1/3 innings. He's allowed 20 hits. He's only walked 8, and he has struck out 30. He's got an ERA of 2.63, but it's not going to be easy. It is supposed to be Shohei Suzuki, Tomoya Mori, and Otaka Yamakawa to come to bat here for the Lions. All 3 of these players definitely are an important part here. One can set the table, and there's a couple of guys who can pound the ball over the fence. They can turn this game over in one flip of the switch. So Suzuki tonight has one of the 3 hits for the Lions. He's 1 for 3. He's got a double in 3 trips. He's also struck out looking and grounded to short. Our friend Tim is now pleading to the gods for the Lions to do something here. Well, we're going to find out right here in a moment what Ishikawa is made of, as we are ready to get this one back underway. The first pitch is a breaking ball, and this is down in the dirt, and the count is 1-0. Certainly don't want to fall behind early in the counts. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. Is Ishikawa working from the set with nobody on? He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses low, and the count is 2-0. Whoa. Well, now all of a sudden, home plate umpire is tightening up the strike zone. That last pitch looked pretty good from Ishikawa. So the home crowd is behind their ball club here. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. As Ishikawa delivers, it's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. The left-handed hitting Shohei Suzuki. Not a lot of power in the bat of Suzuki. Only 1 home run this year as he swings at a fastball. He grounds it into the 4-hole. It's fielded by the second baseman, who throws from his knees. A really good play by Ishii. And that is going to retire Suzuki on a ground out 4-3. We'll take a look and see if they're going to go and look at that one on the replay. It looks like the manager is convinced They don't need to because they did make the play. He had the range into the 4-hole. He's sliding on his knee, throws as he's off balance, and they did get the runner by a half a step. Nice call by the first base umpire to keep himself in position on a really good play by the second baseman, Ishii. Then that is one gone here in the 9th inning. That brings up Tomoya Mori to the plate, who is 0 for 3 tonight. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Mori has flown to left. He's popped to second. And he has struck out in his 3 trips. Here's the 0-1 offering. It is a fastball that misses way upstairs. The count is now 1-1 to Mori. The crowd in the Balluna Dome, they are cheering for their Lions. They're behind them big time here as they're trying to be able to get themselves their run here, a needed run to tie the ball game. So here's the 1-1 pitch. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mori has got himself in the hole here, and he's going to try to battle his way out as Ishikawa gets the sign from his catcher, Usami. And now he works set. Set him up inside, and here comes the 1-2. It is a fastball that misses inside. The count is now 2-2. Nice pitch there by the right-hander Ishikawa. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And here comes the 2-2 offering as he kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away over on the third base side, and the count remains at 2s to Mori. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. The crowd is in full effect. They're on their feet in some sections, cheering on the Lions hitter Mori here as he's waiting on the 2-2 offering. And here's the pitch from Ishikawa. It is a split finger pitch that bounces up to the plate, and that runs the count to 3-2. Boy, if Mori can get on, it brings up Hotaka Yamakawa to the plate with a chance to win the ball game. That would be something here. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Mori waiting on the offering here from the right-hander Ishikawa. Ishikawa gets his sign, and he works set, and now he kicks and delivers. It is a split finger pitch that misses down. The appeal over to the third base umpire. They say Mori didn't go. That's going to be ball 4. And that is going to bring up the home run hitter or leading hitter of the Pacific League in Hotaka Yamakawa with a runner at first and only 1 away. Well, Yamakawa steps to the plate. He's 0 for 3 tonight. He's got himself 38 homers on the year and 82 runs batted in. There is a pinch runner at first base for Mori. I'll have to get you that one here in a second. See who they have brought in to run for him. They definitely have some speed now on the base paths as it's Takizawa on to run. Takizawa is appearing in his 40th ball game of the year. There's a first pitch breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Yamakawa. And one would think if Yamakawa got on, they'd have a runner for him too. Yamakawa has grounded to second, grounded to first, and struck out in his 3 trips to the plate, but that was all against the starter Ito. So Ishikawa is living dangerous here. He is a double play candidate, is Yamakawa. He does not run particularly well. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses upstairs. The count is now 2-0. Yamakawa looking for a sayonara home run to finish off the fighters in this one. So lots of drama in Saitama. The runner at first base is only 19 years old, the young fella. As here's the 2-0 pitch. It's a fastball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes. Waiting on deck is Nin-Ting Wu, who has one of the 3 Lions hits tonight. And one would have to think if Wu came to the plate, he's going to be trying to sacrifice bunt these guys over. Should Yamakawa reach base here? Here comes the 3-0 offering. As the righty Ishikawa kicks and delivers, it's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 3-1. It's been a steady diet of breaking balls here for the right-handed hitting Yamakawa. Our friend Tim says, how many outs are there? There is 1 gone here in the 9th inning. The runner at first is the pinch runner for Mori, and that would be Takezawa. And here comes the 3-1 pitch as the righty holds set. Ishikawa kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on it, is popped up into shallow center field. Racing in on it is the center fielder, and that's going to be caught by Imagawa. And the frustration on Yamakawa as he has popped it out for the 2nd out of the inning. And that's going to leave all up to Nin-Ting Wu. So for Wu on the evening, he's got a hit in 3 trips. He's also grounded to second and struck out looking. He does have some juice in the stick. He's got 5 homers on the year and 25 RBIs. So the Lions are down to their final out as they currently trail the Fighters 1-0 here in the bottom of the 9th. So Wu is up, waggling the bat, waiting on the first offering from Ishikawa. As the right-hander holds set, he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses upstairs for ball 1. The count is 1-0. It's not been an easy inning here for the right-hander Ishikawa. He's thrown 17 pitches, 9 of which have been for balls. So 9 balls and 8 strikes in his 2/3 plus inning work. And here comes the 1-0 pitch. It's a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Wu. Again, Ishikawa rubs up the baseball. The Lions at the edge of the dugout. The crowd is cheering him on. This is to keep into a share of first place. And here comes the 2-0 offering as the right-hander kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 3-0 to Wu. The designated hitter, Takeya Nakamura, waits his turn on deck. Should Wu find a way to extend this? So I want to check that over. It's 12 balls and 7 strikes for the right-hander Ishikawa here, who holds at the belt, and now he delivers. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and Wu has got himself a walk. That's going to put runners at first and second with 2 out. That's going to bring Takeya Nakamura to the plate, who is 0 for 3 tonight. So Nakamura, as we said before, he has, in the twilight of his career, the 39-year-old, he has got himself 10 homers on the year, and he's got 29 runs batted in to go with it. It's a far cry from the days when he was hitting 40 home run seasons and driving in 100 runs. So the big fella here is got a chance to play the hero in the bottom of the 9th inning. There's 2 away. The runner at second is that pinch runner. That is Takezawa. The runner at first is Wu. So Nakamura here, a base hit single would tie the ball game, one would think. So here comes the first offering from Ishikawa. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Boy, if you're the fighters right here, you got to be chewing your fingernails because Ishikawa has really struggled with his command of his pitches. I have to do a quick count on that again. 2, 5, 6, 9, 13, 14 of the 21 pitches have been for balls so far in the inning. If he leaves something out over the plate, Nakamura can make him pay. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. As the right-hander delivers, it's a fastball swung on. It is grounded through the 6-hole into left field. That's going to score a run. The Lions have tied the ball game on an RBI single as Takezawa has come around to score on an RBI single by Nakamura. Nakamura has driven in the run. Stopping at second base is Nin-Ting Wu. And that is going to tie the ball game at 1s. And so that great pitching performance by Hiromi Ito is all for naught, as the Lions have tied the ball game here at 1 in the bottom of the 9th inning. And that is going to bring up the third baseman, or slated to bring up the third baseman, Shota Hiranuma. Well, for Hiranuma, he gets a chance to play the hero. Hiranuma, as we mentioned earlier, in the lineup tonight. And he's playing against his former ball club. He spent 5 years at the NPB level, or parts of 5 years, I should say. The Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters. He came to the Lions last year. So now he's got a chance to be the hero in this one. So runners are at first and second. Runner at second is Wu. The runner at first is Nakamura. And Hiranuma getting a chance to play the hero. Hiranuma tonight, 0 for 3. He has struck out looking. He's grounded to second, and he has popped out to the catcher. Our friend Tim is all pumped up now, that's for sure. So here comes the 0-2 pitch, or the first pitch with 2 out. It's a fastball that misses inside. The count is 1-0 to Hiranuma. Our friend DW says, I don't understand why relief pitchers choke so hard. Well, he's definitely had a problem throwing strikes. And when he does throw a strike, well, we saw what happened. Nakamura made them pay with his 30th RBI of the season. 28th RBI of the season. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. The count is now 2-0. Brian O'Grady waits his turn on deck. Should Hiranuma be able to reach safely? So 2 balls and no strikes. Hiranuma waiting on the offering from the right-hander Ishikawa. As he gets the sign from his catcher, and now time is called as the batter Hiranuma steps out. Our friend Mick says the Lions are not in their groove. That's true, but being that they've tied the ball game here, it's amazing they still have a chance to win it. So here's the 2-0 pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses inside. A really nice stop by the catcher. That's going to run the count to 3 balls and no strikes. It's been an entertaining affair here, a pitcher's duel through the first 7+ innings. And all the scoring has come in the 8th and in the 9th inning. The Fighters scored 1 in the top of the 8th. Lions have responded in the bottom of the 9th inning. So Ishikawa sweating up a storm and ready to deliver his 26th pitch of the inning. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. So it's Kuriyama hitting here for Hiranuma. Has fouled that pitch off, and it's now 3-1. I had to give you that update there. Sometimes we don't always get the call on who is coming up to bat. But it is the veteran Kuriyama who was hitting here. Kuriyama, the longtime Lion. Green light at 3-0. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. And there's a fastball that he swings at. That would have been ball 4. But now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Just a little bit of lack of discipline there by the veteran left-handed stick, Umi Kuriyama. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. The runners are going to be on the move. Here comes the payoff pitch from the right-hander. As Ishikawa checks the runners. And here comes the 3-2 pitch. It's a fastball that misses inside. It's going to be ball 4. As that is going to load the bases. A base on ball here for Kuriyama. Advancing to second is Nakamura. The Ning-Ting Wu is going to go to third. And that is going to bring the big boss out of the dugout. He's going to go to the bullpen. They're going to make a pitching change. As Brian O'Grady is slated to come to the plate, you can pretty much bank it'll be a left-hander coming in to face him. Should O'Grady get the opportunity to come to hit. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments as we do have a pitching change on our hands here. We'll be right back after this. Well, that's not exactly the chess piece I thought that we would see for the fighters. I thought with Brian O'Grady slated to come to the plate that they would be bringing in a left-hander. But that may not be the situation here, is because we do have a different hitter coming up to bat. It is a right-hander in Kazuguchi who is coming in to face, and it's not O'Grady as he has been substitute out of the ball game. It is going to be number 61 in the game. This is Nishikawa, who is going to be batting for O'Grady. So Aya Nishikawa is the pinch hitter. This is only going to be his 30th at bat of the year. And buckle up on this one, guys. He has not had a hit in his first 29 at bats. He is 0 for 29. So he is getting the nod. Something has to give here. It is a right-hander who is coming in to replace a right-hander. It is going to be Iguchi now in the ball game. So Iguchi to face Nishikawa. Iguchi is 1-0 on the year. It's his 18th appearance. He's worked 19 in the third innings. He's allowed 17 hits. He has walked 4 and struck out 23. So he's going to be facing Nishikawa. Not an unbelievable situation here. 0 for 29, and he's getting a chance to hit here. Well, it's got to come sometime, I guess. If not now, when? If not when, where? And here's the first pitch from Iguchi. It's a fastball that misses up and away for ball 1. And the count is 1-0. Maybe he's got orders to take till he gets 3 strikes. Iguchi missed wildly with that first one up and away. There's nowhere to put him. How crazy would it be if he wild pitches a run in? I haven't seen something like that in a while, but anything can happen here. With the runner at third, there's all kinds of ways to score. So here comes the 1-0 pitch as the right-hander holds set. And Iguchi delivers. It's a fastball. Let's take it for a called strike. Oh, boy. Count is now even at 1-1. I'm not sure about that one. But I guess when you're 0 for 29, you're not going to get the home cooking calls. So 1 ball and 1 strike. friend Mick wanted to know, Nick, when you see Demon Slayer in here, he's the guy to ask. He's the San Francisco native, or at least in that area. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. As Higuchi delivers it as a fastball swung on it, is popped up into shallow right center field. Racing back on it is the second baseman, but coming in is the center fielder, and it's going to be caught by Imagawa. And that is going to do it here in the 9th inning, as Nishikawa is retired for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, they get a run in the inning to tie the ball game. There was 1 run in the inning on the benefit of 1 hit, no errors, and 3 runners left aboard. We're now through 9 complete. It is the Seibu Seibu Lions 1, the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the top of the 10th inning when we return. There is a pitching change coming up here for the Lions. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the 10th inning. It is going to be the top of the order coming up for the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters, and there is a pitching change as the Lions have gone to the bullpen, and they are going to be bringing in the right-hander. This is going to be Masuda coming into the ball game to replace Moriwaki. So Masuda is coming in. And we'll get you the specs on him in just a moment. Masuda is generally, I believe, the closer for the Lions. So he is coming in. This is going to be Tatsushi Masuda. He has 45 games pitched this year. He's 2-3. He's got 29 saves. He's worked 43 and a third innings. He's allowed 32 hits. Has walked 9 and struck out 29. He's got an ERA of 2.08. So he is on in relief. 34-year-old taking over here. Interesting configuration of the dome. The way the sun is setting right now in Japan, it is coming in through it's almost like an open air type stadium. You can see the sunshine coming in through the holes. There's some spots that is kind of a tough situation. They do have a new catcher in the ball game as Tomoya Mori was pinch run for. I don't have the update on it yet, but I'm guessing it is probably Suge who is in to catch here for Mori. My first guess is Takazawa had come in to pinch run for him, but we'll see if we can get the update there in a moment as Masuda is completing his warm-up tosses. As I mentioned earlier, when Tomoya Mori is not behind the plate, it really does open up the running game. So the best thing for the Lions to do is keep the runners off the bases. So Kamikawa, Kabata, Matsumoto, and Kondo here to face the right-hander Masuda in the top of the 10th inning. And what's interesting is the sun that's coming in is almost right in the face of the left-handed batters. They get into the batter's box and it's beaming through, and it is right on the hitters. So it's a really weird thing. You're going to get pitches coming out of the shadow, and then it's going to come into the light. The first pitch is a breaking ball. I'll take it for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Kamikawa Kabata. I don't know how long that'll last. It won't be particularly long, but it's enough to probably tick you off as a hitter. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. As there is a fastball swung on, is grounded over to second. Fielded neatly by Wu, who throws to first, and that is going to retire Kamikawa Gabata on a ground out 4-3 for out number 1. He is retired for the 4th time tonight. Our friend Alexander Leggett pops back in here. He said he had to jump out, but now he's back in. Of course, now we're on for some of that extra inning stuff. So Go Matsumoto steps to the plate. He has hit in 3 trips. He's also walked. He takes a breaking ball over for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Yeah, they were down to their final out, were the Lions in that 9th inning. And able to cash that run across. Some clutch hitting there by the veteran DH Nakamura. As there's a fastball swung on its tap foul over on the third base side, and the count is now 0-2. Our friend Rory says ranked number 1, but can't pitch around the last place team. That's how it is sometimes. The Fighters, I have to say, have played much better baseball in the second half of the year. And it's interesting to see these young players play. And I say that because they're figuring out the pieces of the puzzle here. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. It's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner, and the count's now 1-2 to Matsumoto. So the big boss has got some pieces here. Our friend Alexander says, who is on the mound right now for the Lions? It is their closer, Masuda. It's the 5th pitcher used tonight by the Lions. He's on in his first inning of work. And here's the 1-2 pitch. It is a breaking ball. Take it for a called 3rd strike. Matsumoto stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by for out number 2. As he is retired for the 2nd out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Kensuke Kondo. Well, if there's anybody who I'd be concerned about in this order, it is Kondo. He has been aboard all 4 times he's come to the plate. He's got a single, he's got an RBI double, he has walked, and he's been hit by a pitch. So maybe he'll just continue the tour here by doing something different, like hit a triple or a home run maybe. So here comes the first offering from Masuda. Only 10 pitches. Check that. Only 6 pitches so far from the right-hander. I wonder if the Lions would bring him back out for another inning. If he can keep it under 10 pitches, why not? No sense in going to the pen again. Our friend Tim says the A's ruined his ticket against Atlanta the other day. And there's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Alexander Leggett already calling for another Kondo here. So no balls and 1 strike as the right-hander holds set at the belt. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes even to 1-1. So I thought we would be wrapping up the call there in the 9th inning. And, well, what do you know? Hayakawa able to deliver, or should say Nakamura able to deliver. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is belted to deep right field. If it stays fair, it's trouble. And this ball is going to be gone. A home run for Kondo, his 5th time tonight. He has been on base. I said either a triple or a home run, and there it is, a home run for Kondo. And that is going to increase, or it's going to make the score 2-1 here in the top of the 10th inning. Are you kidding me? As he rounds the bases with 2 gone here. The Lions are not able to do it again. And that is going to bring Kazunori Ishii, the one-man wrecking crew, Kensuke Kondo. He's got 2 hits tonight, actually 3 hits now. He's driven in both of the runs for the Fighters. He's a one-man wrecking crew. Unreal. And here's the first pitch to Ishii. It's a fastball that misses outside for ball one. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Our friend DW says they had their chance and lost. You're absolutely correct. And here's the 1-0 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This ball's belted to deep left center field. Moving back over underneath it and making the grab is Suzuki, and that is going to do it here. Well, we're going to the bottom of the 10th, everybody. Don't leave yet. There was 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board in the top of the 10th. We're moving to the bottom of the 10th inning. It'll be Ito, Genda, and Suzuki to come to bat. Stick around, everybody. It is 9-1-2 in the batting order. We'll be back after this. We'll be right back in 30 seconds, everybody. It is a 2-1 ball game for the Fighters. Hang tight. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the 10th inning. It'll be Ito, Genda, and Suzuki to come to bat here, as we are going to be getting a pitching change. To me, it looks like it's going to be Brian Rodriguez on in relief. I'll get you his specs in just a couple moments. The hard-throwing right-hander is now coming in for the Fighters to try to seal the deal. When you guys hear his numbers, you're going to be crying because it's his 18th appearance of the year. He's 2-2. He has got 13 innings pitched on the year. He's allowed 9 hits. He's walked 3. He has struck out 10, and he's got a microscopic ERA of 0.69. So Rodriguez on in relief here in the bottom of the 10th inning. So this is going to be the 4th pitcher used tonight by the Fighters. So Rodriguez ready to face right-handed hitting Ito. And Ito tries to push a bunt down the first base line, but it just goes foul. That is going to run the count quickly at no balls and 1 strike. And I think he's glad it did, because that was pretty firm bunt. So, but that, if anything, may try to bring the infielders in. So no balls and 1 strike to Ito. Ito tonight is 1 for 2. He has doubled. He's grounded to short, and he also had a sacrifice bunt as he waits here on the offering from Rodriguez. Rodriguez is a pretty big fella who kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Our Japanese friend says, "Go Fight Lions" is in here. We welcome him into the group. So no balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses upstairs. And the count is now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Our friend Enrique is in here. He says he doesn't know anything about baseball. Well, that's okay. Welcome. Based on what we're watching tonight, the Lions don't know much about it either. And there's a split-figure pitch swung on and missed. And Ito is retired on strikes for the first out of the inning, and that is going to bring up the top of the order in Suzuki Genda. Well, we've seen this act before. The Lions were down to their final out, and they were able to tie the game in the last half inning to take it to extra innings. Well, are we going to see it all over again here as Genda steps to the plate? He is 0 for 4 tonight. He's flown out to left field twice. He is grounded to first and grounded to second. So here comes the first pitch. It is a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. As the right-hander holds at the belt. And here comes the pitch to Genda. It's a breaking ball that catches the inside corner, and the count goes even at 1-1 to Genda. So 1 ball and 1 strike. The right-hander Rodriguez kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-1. Just a couple of reminders after this game is done. We are going to wrap up the out-of-town scoreboard. We'll give you the recap on this one. For some of you, it'll be the tragic numbers. For some of you, it'll be the good numbers. I'm not sure which one is which. Comes the 2-1 pitch to Genda as Rodriguez kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 2-2. On top of that, tomorrow night we are going to be back on the same time. It'll be 10 o'clock Pacific or 1 a.m. Eastern. We'll be calling the Buffaloes and the Hawks. The way this game is going, we might just dovetail right into that game next. I don't think we're going to do that. We are going to get some sleep, and we'll be back at it again tomorrow. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Genda as Rodriguez holds set. And now he kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on. It's lined into left field. It's over the head of the shortstop for a base hit. So Genda has got himself a single with 1 gone. And that is going to keep things alive here for the Lions in their half of the 10th inning. And that's going to bring up Shohei Suzuki. So they're not dead yet by any stretch of the imagination. Takezawa is going to be waiting on deck. He was the pinch runner for Mori. He stayed in the ballgame to play second base. Ning-Ting Wu had moved over to third in that last half inning. And that looks like it's going to be it for Rodriguez. I'm not sure if it's injury or what the deal is, but the trainer has come out, as did the interpreter, and he is done for the night. He's walking off the mound, and that is going to bring in the lefty, as we are going to have ourselves a pitching change. So lefty in to face Shohei Suzuki. Hang tight, everybody. There's 1 gone here with the runner at first. We'll be right back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys all for listening in. We'll be right back after this. It is 2-1, everybody. We are in the bottom of the 10th inning. There is a pitching change for the Fighters, and we'll be back in 30 seconds to let you know who that is. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Shohei Suzuki coming to bat here. He is officially 1 for 4 on the evening. He has a double in 4 trips. He's grounded to second. He's grounded to short and struck out in his other 3 trips, as he is going to be coming to bat. The Fighters have gone to the bullpen again. They have brought in a lefty. We're just not sure which lefty it is, as they've already used a 1-up tonight. We'll get you the specs as soon as we can do that in just a moment. So it is The lefty Suzuki stepping up to the plate. And we're taking a look at who it is. It is going to be Kono who is on in relief. That is going to be, or I should say Kawano, as the first pitch is a fastball that catches the inside corner, and the count is 0-1. So Ryusi Kawano on in relief for the Fighters. This is his 15th appearance. He's 0-2. Some of you out there, you'll be excited to know he's got a 5.54 ERA. 26 innings. He's allowed 30 hits and 9 walks. He's struck out 16. So Kawano on in relief of Brian Rodriguez in this one. This is where the Fighters are going to get a little bit thin. They just don't have the depth that the Lions do, so they're hanging on here. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. As he kicks and delivers, it's a fastball swung on, it is grounded slowly over to second. They flip it to second for one, back to first, and it's an ball game ending double play. Suzuki is hit into the 4-6-3 variety, and that is going to do it here, as that is going to wrap it up for the Lions in their half of the inning. They couldn't get to the crucial part of the batting order with Yamakawa and Wu and the rest to follow. Suzuki has grounded into double play. No runs, 1 hit, no error, and nobody left aboard. Your final score is the Fighters 2 and the Lions 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll wrap this up in just a couple of moments with all the stuff here. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to wrap this one up for you in just a moment. We'll give you all the out-of-town scores. That was one crazy ball game tonight from Saitama, as the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters won 2-1 against the Saitama Seibu Lions. Taking a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard, the other two games are finals. The Chinichi Dragons knocked off the Amuri Giants 5-2, 5-10-0 for Chinichi, 2-5-0 for the Giants. Ogasawara got the win tonight for Chinichi. He's 8-8. CC Mercedes takes the loss. He's 5-6. Martinez got his 33rd save for the Dragons. Ariel Martinez hit his 8th homer for Chinichi. Yokohama Dana Bay Stars knocked off the Hanshin Tigers 7-0 tonight. 7-9-0 for the Bay Stars. 0-3-2 for the Tigers. Shida got the win. He's 5-4. Ricky takes the loss. He is 0-2. Well, this game here was pretty much a pitcher's duel for the first 7+ innings. And that was the Fighters in the top of the 8th inning with 1 out. Go Matsumoto walked. And then Kensuke Kondo had a RBI double to knock in Matsumoto to put the Fighters up a 1-0 lead. Well, that was where it stood until the bottom of the 9th inning. The bottom of the 9th inning, Shohei Suzuki led off with a ground out. And then Tomoya Mori walked. He was pinch run for by Tanazawa. And then Otaki Yamakawa flew up to center field after a walk to Ninting Wu. Takia Nakamura hit a ground ball through the 6th hole to drive in the pinch runner for Mori to tie the ball game up at 1. Well, in the top of the 10th inning, with 2 gone, Kensuke Kondo hit a solo shot. That was the 5th time tonight he had reached base. He had 3 hits. He drove in a couple of runs. And that was where it stood, as Kondo ends up driving in both the runs tonight for the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters to put them to a 2-1 lead. And that's where it stood as the final. Well, the win in relief, this one here is going to go to Kawano. He gets the win for the Fighters. The loss is going to go to Masuda, as he served up that homer in the top of the 10th inning. And once again, your final is 2-1. We'll be back again tomorrow night for the Buffaloes and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. Hopefully you guys can make it in here with us. That'll go off at 10 o'clock Pacific or 1 a.m. Eastern. Once again, everybody, it's been another Last Drafts Baseball video production. Appreciate you guys for being here. We'll come on back and see you again tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.